Let's stand. Join with me in prayer. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for all of the blessings you bestowed upon each and every one of us. Thank you for this great city, this great county that we live in. Thank you for this great state and the great country. Thank you for the freedoms that we enjoy by being Americans. Now, dear Lord, guide and direct us. Help us to make decisions that are not only beneficial to the citizens of our county, but also pleasing unto thee. We pray these things, dear Lord, in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Got any additions or deletions?
Westbrook, we do have an addition to the consent agenda. We need the board to certify as regarding the addition and subtraction or deletions of Microsoft licensing within the county. And it's just a certification. We're asking it be added to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I'll offer a motion that we approve the agenda with item D being added to the consent agenda.
Second. Motion and a second. Approve the agenda. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign.
And is Commissioner
Chairman,
joining us?
I'm president and I vote for it.
Didn't ask you, was you coming through for it, Dr. Fire? So,
Can you hear me okay?
yes, sir. We glad to have it.
Okay. I voted in the affirmative.
Thank you.
We're ready to go, Mr. Westbrook. Section 1, recognition, board recognition of employees of the, for their time of service. And Sarah?
This morning I have Miss Jenna Girdler, I'm sorry. She's being recognized for 5 years of service with the county. The name Gina comes from the Italian origin meaning queen. In Miss Girdler's spare time, she enjoys spending time with children and her 4 grandkids. Miss Girdler came to us after beginning her career with the Department of Corrections. Previous to her current career, she spent several years working with Jackson Hospital. For her character quality, I chose self-control, rejecting wrong desires and doing what is right in all areas of life. Ms. Girdler is one of the most dependable, punctual, and loyal employees one could ask for. While being very quiet, she manages her post at the facility with little to no issues and has respect for coworkers and the inmates. Ms. Girdler's demonstration of her character quality, self-control is a big access to the facility and shows Ms. Girdler is not just a coworker, but she's family to the people she works with. Thank you, Ms. Girdler, for your service.
Taking pictures, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add that the county has been certainly very blessed with a lot of very, very good employees that provide a lot of good work and responsible dedication to the county. And I'd like to congratulate Jen on her 5 years of work for the county.
I concur completely.
Ready for the next item, Mr. Westbrook?
Yes, sir.
The next item on the agenda under the same section is request board adoption of a resolution of the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners supporting the construction of a public supermarket within Jackson County, Florida. This resolution should help the public supermarket chain to make a decision on whether to come here. It supports it in any efforts that they might pursue regarding tax credits and also new market tax credits. So asking the board for approval of the resolution.
Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, I so move.
May I ask a question before we entertain a motion?
Yeah, hold on one second, Dr. Fire. Go ahead.
Okay.
Request come from?
This came from jointly from the local law firm and the Jackson County Economic Development Council.
From a local law firm that is representing Publix?
No, sir, not representing public, representing, an effort to get the citizens to, encourage publics to locate in in Jackson County.
Well, of course, I've talked to a lot of people that, including my wife, that said I'd love to have a Publix here, but, my concern is, I would like for them to make that decision on their own abolition. I'm concerned about encouraging and offering incentives to a grocery retailer and what impact that might have on the other grocery stores. I know that right now Winn-Dixie is in the process of selling to Aldi, but we got Grocery Outlet, and I'd like to offer to table this, and this is the first I've seen of this. I'd like to table this until our next meeting before I make a decision on it. I mean, I don't want to give the indication that I'm against this. I just want to make sure that before we jump out there and start encouraging another grocery store to come, that it's not going to have a huge impact on the other grocery stores that are operating here in Jackson County.
And Mr. Donfro, I'm not trying to discourage or encourage that, but this does not involve pre-authorized incentives at all.
Has Publix, and again, I know that over the years, because I've been involved in a number of conversations where they have indicated an interest to come to Jackson County. Based on their market studies, they've always indicated there's not enough of a market share, or there's not enough of a reason to come to Jackson County, whatever those reasons were. I apologize for not having this a little bit earlier, but I'd like to table this until the next meeting, unless there's a time critical component of this.
It's up to the pleasure of the board.
One thing I would say, not in defense of them, but they may have, the other one moving out, may have had some indication on them coming. I don't know that, because I certainly had visited with.
In this resolution, it does mention incentives in the way of new market tax credits.
Yes, sir, but the county does not have any control over whether they qualify or whether they would pursue new market tax credit.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
okay. Commissioner Donifro offered a motion to table it. I don't think it received a second thus far. And if it fails because of a lack of a second, I'd like to offer an alternative motion that we approve the resolution.
Got one to table and one to approve.
I second it, approve it.
To approve. Got a motion and second to approve.
What are you seconding?
Mr. Fowler.
Okay, so my motion dies for lack of a second.
Yeah, I think.
Yes, it will when we get to it.
Yeah.
Yes. You have any other comment? Do you have any other comment? Any other comment?
Again, my voting against this is not so much that I'm opposed to it. I just want a little bit more time to make sure that
Yeah.
we'll make a decision that's best for Jackson County.
Well, nothing wrong with having a little bit of time to think, in my opinion. Okay, well, excuse me. Your motion dies for lack of a second. We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor signify by raising your right hand. Dr. Spires? Approve.
I signify by saying aye. Yes.
Thank
I
you.
vote aye.
Okay. We approve.
3 approvals.
Yes, sir.
Ready for the next section and next item, Mr. Westbrook?
Yes, sir.
Okay, moving on to section 2, request, the first item in that section is request board approval of a general development order for Wynwood RV Resort and Campground. I know, Mr. Westbrook, that there's a number of people here to speak for this, but this is a request for a development order for a 24-unit RV park. It's to be constructed in 3 phases. One aspect of this development order is that there will have to be a special exception to allow an RV park in Ag 2. And it was presented to the Planning Commission December the 1st. The Planning Commission did not recommend approval. They denied the request for the special exception to develop an RV park in Ag 2. I know that we have a number of people here that want to speak in conjunction.
We're gonna allow. Is that the one on Pontiac Loop?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone want to speak for or against? Come forward. Come forward.
And
Who- which
Mr.
one?
Westbrook, I believe that everybody has, provided their name and phone number
Thank
and topic that they want. to
Thank you.
speak.
The board has a policy, sir, of about 3 minutes, so
Yes, sir.
if you can be prompt, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, my name is Curtis Benefield.
Yes,
I'm Mayor Pro Tem for the city of Cottondale.
good. Well, we
Out of
welcome
all
you and
these
thank you.
people that's here to speak on the RV park, we've all had children, grandkids, and great-grandkids that go to that school. That park will lay right between our elementary school and our city park. And we just asked the city, representing the city and the people of the city, which Pontiac Loop is in the county, that part of it. We're fully against bringing an RV park that close to our school and our city park.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next person that raised their hand, come forward.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I'll make this really quick. My name is Rosalind Williams. I'm originally from 2 Florida, and I moved over to Cottondale through marriage, and this is my family. I am at 2829 Pontiac Loop in Cottondale, and I'm also representing my neighbor, Leslie Johnson, at 3090 Harner Street. We are here to respectfully express our opposition to the proposed RV park and the campground development that will be located less than 500 feet from my personal home. I'm very concerned for the safety of myself and my daughter. She's very young as well, and we stay there alone. I've never met the owners of this new proposed park and site, which I assumed that I would probably be one of the first people to meet them since they're I'm their closest neighbor. But we still have not make that introduction as of yet, and it's been maybe a year. But back to what I'm saying. I'm just very concerned, not only of the sewer system. We are on sewer. We all have our own private well and sewer systems. So I'm not sure how that proposal would go or what approvals could happen with the sewer system, but I definitely want to know that. Basically, I just don't feel like this is safe for our residents. Myself, I walk every morning. Several of my neighbors, we walk down our back road with no problems. You know, it's a very peaceful community. We don't really have any issues. We know everyone. I mean, I hate to say it, but we kind of leave our doors unlocked. You know, we're not that type of community, but I just don't want to go into lockdown and fear because of an RV park with a lot of transient people that I'm not sure how we would even check, you know, a pedophile list, or I don't know what the verbiage is, but you know, who's done things to children or not. I don't know who's going to monitor that. As far as the owners of the park, like I said, I don't know them personally. I've never met them. So my concern is just our safety, just providing a safe environment for our community and keeping it that way if possible. And so that's the only thing I wanted to say. Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Good morning. My
Try
name
to
is
hold
Tara
3
Davis.
minutes if you can. Thank you.
My name is Tara Davis, and I have a resident there on Pontiac Loop also. My thing is, it's not compatible to the community. That's what I'm saying. It's not compatible to the community. The traffic flow. I watch the traffic myself, and because where I work, I watch the traffic, and by where the RV park is going to locate it. When they come out, it's already a full line of vehicles that's waiting to pick up the kids, and that's going to make more traffic more bad for the parents that's going to pick up their children and stuff. So my thing is, I'm not condoning not to have the RV park and stuff. I've experienced that around that curve. I had personal stuff that happened to me around that curve. We don't know. We only have a 2-man force in Cottondale. We have the fire chief and 2 officers. They are off on Saturdays and Sundays. The Jackson County patrol the area on Saturdays and Sundays. Now, if anything happened, how is that possible for Jackson County to rush over there to protect our kids? That's what I'm saying. How is they going to protect our kids? So it's not compatible to the community. And also, we already have Tent City. So if they don't live here in this area, they have family members here. The owners have family members, but they don't live in this community. How is they going to come all the way from where they are to protect our children, because the football field there, we have kids walking to school. How is that going to be compatible to this community if they have the RV park? I'm not condoning them have one, but we feel that we should not have the RV park in a community area. If they can put it somewhere else, yes. But what I think is we need grocery stores in another park, but not no RV park. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kendrick Gardner, and I'm a resident at 2853 Pontiac Loop. These are my neighbors right here. My biggest concern is the safety and security and well-being of our youth. We cannot have, I don't knock entrepreneurship. If you want to do something like that, that's fine. But the area they're talking about putting it in, we don't need it. Because who's to say, or who's gonna monitor, like we mentioned before, pedophiles, if they do come in, because I know they got to register. If they're traveling, who's to say that they come there and we just don't know what happened. That's my biggest concern, is the safety and security of not just our youth, but our elderly that live on Pontiac Loop, the kids walking to school, things of that nature. We don't need that in that one particular spot, because there's too many variables that we can't account for. And like I said, I'm not knocking the entrepreneurship of the people that want an RV park. My biggest concern, and everyone's biggest concern, is safety. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Carol Christie, and I live on Pontiac Loop. This RV park is not a fit for our community. It's going to sit in the middle of the residential area. Houses, RV park houses. The traffic that goes to in the morning, if you hit by 7 a.m., it's like done. They have 2 police officers working out there in the morning just to direct the traffic for the schools. It's not a good fit. Now, this RV park is a mere 1,000 feet from Cottondale Elementary School. It's adjacent to the park. It raised a lot of concern. And at the same time, with this proposed thing, the developers are asking for a special exemption. Now, this with the conflict with the Jackson County Commissioner Plan Policy 2.2 parenthesis 3 paragraph A. Yet the developers are still asking for a special exemption to change the existing agriculture to future land use category so they can build. Granting them this exemption, what precedent are you going to set? If you grant them the exemption, say, okay, go ahead and build. What else are they going to ask you for in the future? Their original proposal was for a 58-unit RV park, campground, and cabin. Now they changed it. The original application does not change. They only changed their word. The verbiage has changed, that they're going to build 24 units in section. They did not eliminate their original application. Before you, I said we are surrender all the information that we possibly can. This is not a good fit for Cottondale. We are not against their growth, their ambition or their growth, but this is not a good fit for Cottondale. We have we have over 400 signatures from petition that is signed by the residents of Cottondale and Jackson County saying that they do not want it. The county planning I have gave them all the information with the signatures are verified. Over 400. We knocked on every door in Cottondale. Every person said, no, it's not, we do not want it. I'm asking you today, please do not grant them this permission to to put an RV park in our area, in our neighborhood, in our backyard, in our front yard. 455 students each day stand at risk with this RV park going in. Please take consideration for us, the resident of Cottondale, the people that you represent. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there someone else? Is there someone else? Is anyone here from the, come forward, sir? You coming?
Mr. Westbrook,
Yes.
my name is Marvin Henderson. I live on Pontiac Loop, and I've been there for quite some time. And I think you are well aware of that. And I want to just chime in with what everybody else has said, not more that I can say, except that it's not a fit for our community. We are a residential community, and it's been that way. When I noticed that the neighbors were moving in, I thought they was gonna build a house there, and that was it. We had no idea that this was coming about, this was gonna transpire. But when we found out, we got together and we wanted to let the board know that we are against it. And as everybody else already stated, it's for the safety of the elderly, which I'm elderly myself now, and for our children, and for there are two schools, the high school and is right at the elementary school. So I vote against the RV park. Nothing against our neighbors that want the park, but not in that area. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there someone here from that is supporting the Pontiac Loop Park? Yes, ma'am, come forward.
Morning.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm losing my voice, so bear with me. My name is
I'll be
Caitlin.
better if we lost time.
My name is Caitlin Oyugi Summers. Myself, along with my husband and our 4 children, moved to Cottondale in August of 2024 after purchasing our land late in 2023. We had been looking for a place to call home since moving to Florida, and when we walked on what is now our land, we immediately knew we found it. Our dream for many years now has been to own an RV park, and we have worked very hard and put our savings into making this dream a reality. We did hold a community meeting where our neighbors and community were able to ask questions and voice their concerns. We heard their concerns, and that's why we cut the amount of the RV sites by more than half. We did originally ask for 55, and we paid and had the plans completely redone to significantly decrease those sites. We are only requesting to start with 8 RV sites for phase 1. We do have park rules in place for anyone staying at Wynwood RV Resort that they would have to sign and abide by. And I know one of the concerns brought up was noise, which we have addressed by having the RV sites starting back farther into our land and in the center, farther away from the road and the neighbors. And we have also enforced quiet hours as well. And as with all the park rules, anyone who does not follow this rule would be asked to leave immediately. One of the concerns was safety, which you've heard today, which we have also addressed by having only one entrance and exit that will be monitored at all times, security cameras in place, along with the perimeter of the RV park fenced in. Again, everyone will be required to sign a contract that contains our park rules, and it will state that we will not tolerate any disorderly conduct, and anyone who violates those rules will be asked to leave. We also will require a copy of their driver's license and license plates numbers with check-in. One of the other issues brought up was the children walking to and from school. Even though with decreasing the RV sites, we don't believe that traffic will be impacted that severely, but we are going to enforce check-in and check-out times that are not when school is being released or let out. So it will not affect the traffic for school. Our son is also one of the children that walks to and from school, so safety will always be a priority for us as well. One of the concerns brought up was the proximity to the football field. Again, this shouldn't be a factor with it not being on Pontiac Loop and there not being a huge impact on traffic with only starting with 8 RV sites. But again, there will be designated check-in and check-out times that they would have to adhere to. Regarding the argument that this is just a residential area, there is another business on Pontiac Loop, a storage facility across from the school. And even though it is a residential area as well, it's going to be on our land and it'll be fenced in and private. And the land directly across the street from what would be the RV park also belongs to us, so that should not affect anyone else. On a personal note, since moving here, we have been made to feel like our dream is a bad thing. We have been told we are money hungry and we are just developers and this isn't really our home. We've been told that we should have a different dream, such as opening a grocery store. But I ask you, is it okay to tell other people what and how to dream? Is it wrong to want to better yourself and make a better life for your children than what you had? We want to provide a good life for our children. And we want to do it in a way where we aren't sacrificing our time with them, which is why we are choosing to live and raise our family on the land we are proposing the RV park. I'm not sure why it's been said that we don't live there. We do live there full time. It's our home. I know you don't know us, and this decision requires a little bit of faith, but my husband and I are both in the medical field. We have spent our lives taking care of people. It has never been our goal, and it never will be our goal to harm anyone in any way. We understand that change is difficult, and we know we haven't lived here our whole lives, but that doesn't mean that this isn't our home. And it doesn't make us bad people for wanting to provide a good life for our families. We spent years looking and have spent our savings investing in this dream, and we're asking you to please also see it from our perspective and help make our dream come true. Thank you.
Do we have anyone else?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Leslie Johnson, and I live on Pontiac Loop as well. And as with everyone else, no, we don't want to do anything or say against you what you want to do. What we're saying, however, is that where you want to go is not suitable. You can go down 90 up to
Address the board,
231.
Not that lady.
I'm sorry.
If you don't mind, address the board.
Okay,
and
I'm sorry.
Keep it positive.
So, yeah, I just didn't want her to
I
feel
understand.
necessary. So what she's saying is that they're going to do a thing with your driver's license and your license plates. Let me tell you something that happened to me about driver's license and license plates. If you have a car, a brand new car, and you have a temporary plate, once you get your new plate, that temporary plate no longer, we think, exists. That is not true. So someone that comes with a driver's, a license plate that may be temporary, may not belong to that person. Found out that I didn't take a test and my license was suspended. I didn't know it was suspended. I found out in a not good way, but I did find that out. So those two things that she's saying that we're using, are going to use, are really not substantial. Your license plate, your license can be suspended and you not know it and they not know it. So we're looking at that. We're looking at also license plates, again, with a temporary plate and with a new plate. I'm sure a lot of you did not know that if you don't destroy your temporary plate, the county, the city, the state does not void it out. it's a plate that can be used. How do I know? Someone had a temporary plate that I threw away because I thought, oh, it's a temporary plate. They were somewhere else doing other things. And that's how we found out. So those things sound like a great idea, using the driver's license and the license plate. However, those things are not substantial when it comes to a person who might be a pedophile, who might be a sex offender, who might be a crook of some sort, any sort. So what we're saying, and you've heard it before, that it just is not a good fit. I've got some land off 231. You can have that. That would be great, because then they can leave, I mean, on 231, they can go to 10. When you get on 10, you can go to the Pacific, you can go to the Atlantic, okay? With anyone and everyone and your things and your people. And off of 10, you can go east or west. So we're putting ourselves and our children in danger. And that is what we would like for you to continue to think about. Any of you have children that go to Cottondale? Any of you? No children in Cottondale? Well, how would you like it if you were in that situation where that park is coming to your neighborhood, going past your children every day? Children have a tendency to leave the school. We know it. We try to avoid it. My time is off. Okay, so that being said, please take those into consideration. We appreciate it and thank you.
Thank you.
There is someone online with their hand up that would like to speak.
Okay, we'll get to it. Is there anybody else who wants to speak? Okay, on the line, go ahead. You still have them on the line?
We do. They'll need to unmute themselves.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
My name is Jessica Largy, and I'm watching via Zoom, as you can tell. And I just wanted to share that my mother lives on Pontiac Loop, and I visit the area very often. And my concerns are also the security for my mother and the other residents around her that might be alone, not have anyone else around. So therefore, anything is possible to happen. Being a social worker and understanding the possibilities of things that can happen when you allow random people to come into a neighborhood, the security, the children, the traffic, it can, there's times when it can be beneficial if the product and the project is going to be beneficial to everyone in the town, in the community. Everyone's going to be able to benefit from that. With this RV park, that is not what is going to be presented to the community. And I do not think that it's a good fit for the community and the environment of Cottondale. Cottondale is a wonderful place. I really, I'm glad that we found it and we've made it our home for, I think, the last 10 years. And I don't want to see anything happen that is going to bring any destruction or chaos to the area. So I just wanted to share that, and I thank you.
Thank you. Is there someone else? Any comments from the board? Dr. Fire?
One question, Mr. Chairman, if I may, please.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Okay. Ms. Barnes, Amber Barnes, is she present?
Ms. Sweezy is, Mr. Spires.
Okay, then may I ask her a question, please?
Yes, sir. You recognize?
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Sweezy.
Good morning.
Okay. I'm just trying to decipher the final recommendation from the review board, in terms of whether they approve or disapprove of this development order.
The planning commission recommended denial.
Now, was that based upon incompatibility with the community?
It was based on safety concerns that the community
concerns.
brought up. Yes,
Okay. Was that the only variable that was issued by them? Were there other issues?
that was the only thing that they cited.
Okay, then. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Can I ask a question?
Go right ahead, if you recognize.
Issued a special exemption for an RV park recently.
Yes, we have issued special exceptions for RV parks in agriculture too. It's not an exemption, it's an exception, and that is required by our comprehensive plan.
So we have done that recently, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
So, was that the one that was west of Cottondale, in between Shipley and Cottondale on Highway 9?
Yeah. Yes, for the Happy Green Acres, we did issue one.
Well, of course, I've lived here for 60-something years, and I've traveled most of Jackson County, but I had never been down Pontiac Loop. So when I saw this issue come up, I took the time to drive through Pontiac Loop. And as has been described by most of the people that spoke this morning, it is a residential neighborhood made up of primarily single-family homes and single-family manufactured housing. I'm not so sure I agree with everyone that has said that an RV park specifically is not compatible to the area. I would say that certainly a 50-unit RV park would not be compatible. I don't even know that a 24-unit RV park would be compatible. I might not be opposed if it were a smaller RV park, maybe limiting it to 8 units. But certainly I've heard from the residents that live there that we represent that they are not in favor of it. So I would be inclined to agree with the Planning and Zoning Board to deny this, but would certainly invite the owners to maybe approach it from a smaller number of units, and I may change my mind if it was a lot less units than potentially 24.
I've been on Pontiac Loop many times in the unincorporated part where we drill wells or repaired wells. And it's kind of crooked, really. making a swing there almost on a 90-degree curve up there. But I will say that applications for permits in water wells are always we have to do. And I was denied a permit there because the state showed a former junkyard there. And I'm not sure that they had the best information, but in beginning there, I did drill through a hood of an old car where it had been buried there. And I don't know if that was I have no idea. It was in the unincorporated area, so I would be a question if we did something there, I would be in question of where that was true and identified before we used it. Great.
That's in my district.
I want to ask you, is that in your
In my district, and I make a motion to deny it.
Yeah.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and a second to deny it. All in favor, raise their right hand and say aye as well, Dr. Spire.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Pick up the next item. Nobody else got anything to say? I wanted to ask one more question. The gentleman that the city commissioner there, vice chairman, I wanted to just ask you, did you all, your city commission vote on that in any way? Have you registered to vote there on your commission?
We did not vote on it at the city council because once we seen where it was going, It was just over the line. We directed the people that had to come to the county because it was actually out of Cottondale's city limits. But it joins them by like in 80 feet or so. So we did not, we said that's the county's decision. It's not the city's, but the city is in full. I mean, we had our meeting last night. That's why I'm here today. The city is in full agreement with what y'all just done. And as far as the old junkyard, that old junkyard years ago was a holding yard for Bronzell Brannon's record service.
That's nice to know.
Yes,
We respect your decision. Thank you.
Pontiac Loop was actually old Highway 90. Yeah.
I'm learning every day. I've been here a long time, but I'm learning every day. All right,
We're ready to
move on.
under the item number 2, and of course, this is under public hearing. And item number 2 is a request for a general development order to construct 482 square foot addition and also 488 square foot of additional asphalt concrete paved area. This is for the Sun Stop gas station. And this, again, is a general development order, and we're asking for public comment and asking the board to, the Planning Commission did recommend approval of this on December the 1st, asking for public hearing, and the commission recommends approval of the development order.
Anybody want to speak on this? Third recommendation of the
I do have a
planning.
hand online.
Go ahead, Dr. Spire.
I think there's someone online that wants to speak, Mr. Westbrook.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning. My name is Sam Harmon. I represent the general contractor. I did the original renovation back in 2022, I believe, for Southwest Georgia Oil, the Sunstop Group. This is actually a restroom expansion. It's a little under 1,000 square feet just to serve that area a little bit better. There will be no disturbed asphalt. We're not adding actually any asphalt. We're just extending the building footprint about 1,000 square feet.
Okay. The development, yes, ma'am, I'm speaking to you. I would ask you to come forward and explain that to the board if you don't mind, if it's approved by the committee.
Okay, in your packet, you should have a site plan that shows where they're adding this on. So the building, they're expanding over existing asphalt, the paved area that's part of their parking lot. And on the site plan, you'll see like a whitish colored roof, a lighter colored roof, and then there's like a little dark area. That's where they're adding this restroom portion.
Page 31 of the book, Mr. Westbrook.
Yes, sir. Page 30.
31.
I'll offer a motion to approve the general development order for Inland Sun Stop Gas Station for the addition as described by the contractor, by the person representing the contractor.
Second. Have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Moving on. You there with us?
I vote in
Dr.
affirmative. Yeah,
I'm
yes, sir, I do.
out of sight, out of mind, Dr. Fire, sometime, but I'm gonna remember it.
I vote for the motion.
Okay.
Mr. Westbrook, the third item under our public hearing, we're asking for public comment. And this is a requesting board approval of a public access ordinance. Recently, staff went through a training with our Florida Association of Counties legal representatives to discuss the public access ordinance. This, if you've ever heard of the Amendment 1 issues where some public individuals believe that they should have access to every location within a public facility. This ordinance would allow us to enforce limiting access. Basically, there's three types of access, which the first one would be a designated public forum. Like today, we're in a designated public forum in this commission room. And public would have access to that. The second one, it would be limited access public forum, like out in the lobby in front of where Miss Jennifer sits in that area. That would be a limited access. And then there's non-public access, like if someone walked in this building and requested to just go and walk into the county administrator's office randomly, that would be non-public access, and the public would not have access to that unless there was an appointment or something like that. So this just defines what areas are accessible to the public and what those points are. And it has been reviewed by legal, it's been reviewed by the Florida Association of Counties, and we're recommending approval subject to any additional public comment.
Go ahead, you reckon that?
Does the ordinance specifically define those areas in the ordinance?
Yes, sir. Under
So
section
it's pretty clear as to what areas are public access, what areas are restricted, and so on and so forth.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, I'll
Chairman.
go
ahead.
Public hearing.
Okay. Are there other counties that have adopted similar type of requirements in terms of accessibility?
He said, has other counties adopted requirements the same? So
Yes, there are other cities and counties. And part of the training, Dr. Spires, was some videos of, I believe it was like over in Suwannee County, maybe at Live Oak, and also in Hamilton County, where you had Amendment 1 people. We've actually had an incident here in this building where people have entered into the building and said they want to go back and look into all the offices within this building. So there are other communities and other counties that have adopted this. And if you would like to get us to provide you with a list, we can do that, Dr. Spires.
Yes, sir. I would like that. And they've received no repercussions in terms of being denied accessibility to public buildings.
You're not denying it.
We're not denying it. We're defining what is accessible. And
Well, I'll rephrase my statement then. In terms of the county defining what's accessible and what's not accessible.
So what was that again, Mr. Spires? I apologize.
Defining.
I said there's been.
Go ahead, Dr. Spires.
There's been no repercussions for the county deciding what's accessible and what's not accessible to the public.
Based on the training that we've been through with the Florida Association of Counties, based on review by our attorney and the Florida Association of Counties, their recommendation is approval. And I'm not aware of any, and Ms. Parsons may want to comment as well, I'm not aware of any repercussions by any municipality or county.
And Dr. Spires, yeah, I'm not aware
Yes,
of
ma'am.
any. A lot of times this happens with those individuals who identify themselves as sovereign citizens. It happens at the courthouse a lot, with the clerk of court's office as well. But we've seen a trend where it also has been happening more and more with county commission buildings and with city commission buildings. And so by putting some sort of ordinance in place, although you would still have the ability without the ordinance to prohibit them from going into places that would cause, say, public safety issues at the moment, this helps establish a structure in which the sheriff's office, for instance, can take action if they are accessing a part of, say, the building that they're not supposed to be for public safety purposes.
Okay. I assume that our locking system with the numbers are supposed to dissuade that kind of behavior as well. Is that correct?
Dr. Spires, can you say that again?
I said, I'm assuming that we have electronic locks on the door, and I'm assuming that is supposed to dissuade people from just walking in at any time, accessing the building without staff knowledge.
Yes, sir, we do have doors locked, but it doesn't prohibit them from, making the request.
Okay, well, I was under the impression they were coming in without announcing to staff that they were in the building, trying to access certain parts of the building.
Yes, sir, they just show up randomly and demand access to every office, within the public facility.
Okay. And Ms. Parson, you believe strongly that this has legal standing?
Yes, and specifically for purposes of being able to say trespass someone that does violate and go into public or areas that are not open to the public, the sheriff's office generally needs something pursuant to Florida statute to be able to look at, that's in a written form of a document that gives them permission to issue those trespass notices, especially on public property. This helps set that and establish that foundation for them. So it gives you that ability, but it doesn't go beyond what is necessary to be able to protect those specific non-public forum type areas.
Okay. And this is your recommendation as our legal representative. Is that right, Ms. Parson?
I am not the lead representative. I'm as your legal counsel.
No. I said as our legal representative.
Sorry, as your legal representative, the ordinance, I mean, you get to make the determination whether or not you think it's appropriate, but it's legally sufficient.
Okay, so you're recommending it, that is board entertaining this motion.
I'm recommending that it's legally sufficient for you all to consider and that it's permissible for you to do, but the policy determination is the commission's.
Okay, what's the board's
Yes,
pleasure?
ma'am, I understand that, but I just want to get an affirmative viewpoint from you as the legal representative of this board, that this is something that we ought to pursue.
It is definitely something I have seen a trend in between this and the public camping ordinances that are now required by Florida statute that are very similar in nature to this. And so this is a trend I've seen throughout Florida, and it is helpful to have a foundation like this in your code to be able to protect specific areas of county facilities that should not necessarily be open to the public for public safety reasons.
Thank you, ma'am.
I do agree that this is legally sufficient for y'all to approve if you determine it's appropriate.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. What's the board's pleasure?
I think we're still in public hearing.
Now,
Do we close up public hearing?
I don't believe we've called for public comment yet, if there is any.
is there any public comment, Mr. Westbrook? I guess is where we're at.
I don't think we have any. Yes, ma'am. Come right on.
Kim Cole Sweezy. I work with community development, and the administration office and other offices in Jackson County do have locking doors, but our office does not have locking doors. And we have had instances where the public just walks in and wanders around the building. We have access from two different, from inside the health department and from our parking lot. And so while we haven't had like a real problem with this, we have had people coming in and wandering around. We have taken measures to try to tamp that down. But an ordinance like this would be helpful to us if we ever did have to call the sheriff's office.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kim, is the door from the parking lot actually where somebody can walk in? I know that's an egress door. It has to be openable from the inside to allow egress, but
Yes, that's our main door for people to enter our office, yes.
normally when I've been out there, I've come all the way through the health department and come in from the interior.
Yeah, we have two access points.
What's the board's pleasure?
I think for safety reasons is one thing, and if somebody's coming to one of the public offices, they come up to a reception and then they tell them what they're there for, and then if they have a good reason or whatever, or appointment, you know, they can go in. If not, just to wander around, I don't really think that should be done because, you know, up safety reason and hindering the people working. You know, I don't have a problem with that.
Mr. Clerk.
I think we need to read, the heading of the ordinance.
I said, read the ordinance by title. Are there any other comments from the public?
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Ordinance number 2026, an ordinance of the Board of County Commissioners of Jackson County, Florida, creating Article 4, Chapter 2, Jackson County Code of Ordinances, regulating public access to enclosed facilities owned, controlled, or leased by Jackson County, providing for designation of public forum areas, regulating recording activities, authorizing enforcement and trespass warnings, providing for prohibited conduct, providing for servability, and providing for an effective date.
Offer a motion that we approve the Jackson County Public Access Ordinance. Authorize you, Mr. Chairman, to sign.
I think that second, got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. Dr. Spires, go ahead.
I vote in the affirmative.
All opposed, same sign. Unanimous. Move along.
Okay, under section 3, community development request board denial of a variance to the Jackson County Code of Ordinances. This was a issue that came before the Planning Commission on January the 5th. There is a request for a development order to establish the sale of beer and wine adjacent to a school property. The board has reviewed the request and it is prohibited and has recommended denial because it is too close to the boundaries of the school property as it relates to the proposed business.
I think the ordinance is pretty definitive. This is a little bit of a special case because, you know, that building was there before the K-8 school was ever built. But I guess it's been vacated for long enough now that it's been vacant for a period of time that it has to now comply. If it had been in continuous operation, there would be nothing that we could do to prohibit the sale of alcohol. But since again, it closed down, was vacated for a number of years, they're asking to open for a variance so they can open up as a new business. That's the reason why it's been denied. Is that correct? And with the school, as I read through it, it's actually from the front door of the business to the closest property line.
That's correct, yes.
Not the door.
And our regulations state that if a business is closed for 3 years or more, then it's considered a change of use. So we have to look at it like it's a new business. The request isn't about opening a business there because a convenience store would be allowed by right, but it's to sell beer and wine, alcoholic beverages.
And if I could, Mr. Chairman, the building that we're talking about is at the corner of State Highway 71 and Caverns Road at the northwest corner.
It's old Hartsfield store.
That's the Hartsfield, yeah. So it has been closed for 3 years. And
It's, yes, more than 3 years.
so there's another one right there near it. Hadn't been closed that long, I don't think, but anyway.
I think this issue has come up in the past, if I'm not mistaken. I think that the problem is that a convenience store would be allowed, but convenience stores from a financial model, it's necessary for them to be able to have the capability of selling beer and wine to make it financially feasible for them to do it. I guess that's been the holdup. I'll offer a motion that to go along with the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Board to deny the variance request.
Yeah. Second. Got a motion and a second. Dr. Spires, you with it?
Yes, I'm with you. Yes.
Okay. Got a motion and a second to deny the request for, I guess I'm saying it right there, Mr. Clerk.
Variance, yes.
Variance. All in favor, raise your right hand. Mr. Dr. Spires,
I vote for it, for the motion.
okay, motion carries. Move on.
Again, the problem with that is that corner of Caverns, Hartsfield and Highway 71 is very attractive for
Yeah.
that type of development.
Yeah.
And with this being in place, it means that intersection is probably gonna remain undeveloped for that type of retail activity.
Go ahead.
My reason is if it's a closed business, if it was already there in operation and the school moved to it, might be one thing to look at a little different. But we only doing it like we're doing other situations in that same category.
All right, move ahead.
The second item in community development, Mr. Westbrook, is a request board approval of an alcoholic beverage license for the Quick Trip store located on Highway 231, just south of Cottondale, north of Interstate I-10. This is, again, a license request and recommending board approval of the license.
You heard the recommendation. What's the board?
I make a motion to approve it.
Got a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a second by Mr. Donald. All in favor, signify by raising their right hand. Dr. Spires, you with us?
Yes, sir, I vote for it.
Okay. Move on.
Mr. Westbrook, moving into section 4, the consent agenda. Remember, we had added item D to that section. Pay the bills. Board approved the right-of-way use permits. There were a number of, or a lot of roads in the permit request that because of the broadband, the Connexon has requested, but the Road and Bridge has reviewed it and it is recommended. And D is the minutes of the meeting. C is the minutes of the meeting. And then D is the addition to the agenda.
Offer a motion to approve the consent agenda as contained in the written agenda with the item D added.
Second that motion.
Thank you. Got a motion and a second to approve. All. I thought you want to look on that. All in favor, signify by saying right hand straight up. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Move on.
Mr. Westbrook, the second item under this section is the TDC quarterly report. Ms. Kelsey Jackson is here to present that quarterly report.
Good morning, Commission. All right, so I want to first start off by talking about our revenue. This past quarter, we got our final payments from Department of Revenue, including our interest payments. We closed our year out with the highest breaking record that the Tourist Development Council has been able to collect, with a total of $928,500. Our focus really over the past few years since I've been at the helm has been focusing on the quality visitor over the quantity of visitor. What that has equated to, this most recent economic impact report provided by Visit Florida brought in $200 million in visitor spending in Jackson County, which is up $20 million from the year prior. That equates to approximately $40 million in local, state, and federal taxes. So that's helping support our county operations, our local schools, fuel taxes, helping support our road and bridges department. So we really focus on making sure that the visitors we bring in are spending the kind of money we'd like to see versus the quantity of visitors. We don't want to be a beach destination where they have tons of spring breakers come in. We want to see families, retirees, people that are coming in and typically spending more money. That way we can help support our local businesses and our local governments through those sales and fuel taxes raised by visitors. Just to do an overview of our marketing expenses that you've got in front of you. One of those was part of our marketing plan with Bandwango, which is a trails and itinerary software that's going to help reduce some of our printing costs significantly. And while it's a higher expense, we were spending about $10,000 in printing expenses to produce some of the trails that we'll be able to convert over to Bandwango and expand those trails significantly. That's going to focus on supporting our local businesses and more of our attractions and make it where we're actually able to make data-driven decisions about those as well. You'll see some expenses in our event funding as well. We tried a new initiative this go around this past quarter with having more TDC-led event funding applications to help focus on our smaller municipalities. So you'll see that with Main Street Mariana and their Christmas in Candyland, the Graceville Harvest Festival, and the Malone Pecan Festival. We did dedicated ads and swag purchases for them to help support those events and get further branding of the TDC out as well. If you do have additional questions, please feel free to stop me at any point, but I'm going to hop over into the next page, continuing with those event funding pieces. Again, we had new initiatives this past quarter to help reduce the impact and the time commitments that are required in this event funding process for our smaller communities. Our event funding committee has identified several events throughout all of Jackson County that will allow us to help support these smaller events in smaller municipalities without adding those time commitments onto their plates. What we did with this as well, when it came to those grant ad dollars that we utilized for these events, we tied that into blog content, which continued to spotlight events all throughout Jackson County. So we had events listed and experiences from Cottondale, Grand Bridge, Bascom, and just about every municipality that had a Christmas or fall themed event, which allowed us to be able to make sure not only that our event funded events were able to get great spotlights, but the rest of our community as well. With that, I'll get into that once we get to the final page, but that did end up being some of the top performing content that we had. So our communities are getting great spotlight through the TDC and their events that they are hosting. With that, if you have additional questions on the event funding, please feel free to call those out, but I'll move on to the activities report on the next page there. Again, we did a highlight on our financial overview, so I won't go too in depth there, highlighting the great impact that we had this past year with collections. We were able to host our grand opening of the convention center last week, so thank you all for joining us. And for those that weren't able to join us, I know that they'll get to see the facility soon. I was hoping for about 200 people because all of the businesses that you saw there were donated their services and their goods. And thankfully, all of them, just about all of them have seen business come from that event, which is fantastic. That's our goal of being able to bring events like that in and help support these small businesses. Brian Walker was hired over this past quarter as a dedicated person towards all of the county rental facilities. So he's gotten started on a good foot on getting some of those facilities booked and learning what the operations look like from those as well. Our museum workshops are going to start the second half of their workshops this month. So those will be taking place in January, February, and March in Alford, Campbellton, and then the last one concluding in Mariana. Once those are finished up, we'll be taking feedback from our participants and including that into the museum business plan, which will be brought back before you to adopt to help secure future grants as well. Part of the feedback that we've heard from the state grant committee is that the current business plan lacks some information that they'd like to see. So we'll be coming forward with pieces that they've identified as focuses for them. Last but not least, I'll just highlight some of the growth that we've had in our digital marketing performance in that final page. So you'll see on here a continued highlight of some of our event funding ads and marketing that we did, how we tied that into the rest of Jackson County and some of the impact that we had there. We had a really great quarter of growth on our marketing performance, and so I'm glad to see us trying new initiatives with our event funding program to focus on our smaller communities and how that's translating to impact on our marketing efforts as well. Do you all have any questions at all?
Okay. I'd like to say that, of course, the TDC meeting yesterday, one of the things I was excited to learn about is our partnership with Chipola College and working with them to increase exposure for TDC and then also increase the marketability of a lot of the events that they're holding. So I think that's going to be a strong partnership between JC, TDC, and Chipola College. Kind of a loaded question. Do you feel that the efforts that we've had to increase marketing throughout our region has been a big contributor to the increase in tourism dollars in Jackson County over the last couple of years?
Yes, sir. I do believe so, especially with the significant increase in visitor spending going up that approximate 20 million. I think when the next report is released here in the next couple of months, we'll see that visitor spend continue to go up. And that really is the critical component for my focuses in this role, is making sure that the visitors that come in are spending as much money as we can get them to spend. That way we don't have as much strain on our traffic, on our natural resources, and making sure that we're being responsible and sustainable with our growth efforts.
Of course, one of the ways that we could be successful at doing that is to ensure that they're staying overnight.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Fantastic. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Ms. Jackson, please. Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Dr. Spires, you recognize?
Okay, Ms. Jackson, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Are you doing anything in particular for small organizations that may be interested in applying for TDC funds in terms of educating them relative to whether they are eligible to apply for such funds?
So let me see if this will answer this a bit more. One of the programs that we are working on currently is a tourism ambassador program, which will help educate both businesses and local organizations on how to be the best ambassador for Jackson County. That will provide them opportunities to learn more about the TDC, our programs that we offer, and ways that they can get further involved or find benefit for their organizations and businesses. To expand further on that, we are going about expanding our event funding program in a phased approach. We're focusing first on our municipalities, particularly the events that are more legacy events or events that we've identified as being able to have an impact on tourism, which may include smaller nonprofit organizations or non-municipality organizations, depending on the event host.
Okay, I would appreciate some efforts being shown in that regard, because there are a lot of small organizations who either aren't aware or don't know the process involved in terms of trying to access TDC dollars for functions that they have. So if you could put some emphasis on that, I'll be highly appreciative of that.
Yes, sir. We can certainly do that.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
You need to vote on that?
Yes, sir. Adopting the plan.
What's the board's pleasure?
There's no requirement for it. Okay. Moving on to the next item.
That's sir, please,
Okay.
thank you.
The next item under this section, Mr. Westbrook, is item number 3. This is the board approval of renewal of certificate of public convenience and necessity with Rocky Mountain Holdings LLC. This is the Air Methods Earhart out at the airport. Their agreement, their certificate expires February 16th, and it is recommended by Fire and Rescue to extend this agreement. And it is, we are incorporating a change, not a change, but incorporating additional language in the agreement where we will refer to Chapter 22 of Jackson County Code of Ordinances in the certificate of convenience. That was picked up by our attorney, that we needed to reference that in this certificate of public convenience.
So that's the only change.
Yes.
I'll offer a motion to approve the renewal and authorize you, Mr. Westbrook, as chairman, to sign it.
I'd be glad.
That-
Second. Got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, raise your hand. Right. All opposed. You with us, Dr. Spire?
Yes, sir, I vote for it.
Okay. Unanimous.
Next item, Mr. Westbrook, moving on to item number 4, the same section. This is a request for board approval of agreement between Air Gas and Jackson County Board of County Commissioners. The Fire and Rescue is recommending that we purchase medical grade oxygen from a new vendor. The change will provide good savings to the county. The agreement has been reviewed by Neighbors, Gibling, and Nickerson, and it is recommended that the board approve the agreement.
What kind of savings are we anticipating? Just out of curiosity. Chief?
Oh.
Question always comes down to the dollar.
So we've always, well, since I became the chief, the department was already purchasing from Air Gas. They deliver it weekly to the stations, or to one station. What I found was that unfortunately, we've been paying retail price for quite a while. And so we are members through the procurement office of the SAVIC buying group, which is a public safety nationally bidded contract, similar to something like Sourcewell, GSA, stuff like that, that we're members for free under the Board of County Commissioners. They offered a contract. We look to save about $1,000 a month on our purchase for oxygen. So anywhere, depending on our usage, around $11,000 to $13,000 per year of savings. You know, I even asked the same thing. How do you sell oxygen for significantly less, about $70 a bottle or less? And they said that, you know, this was a publicly bidded contract across the United States. And so, fortunately for our area, it's cheaper. For some, it's more expensive, depending on where you are in the United States. So
As far as getting access to the air delivery and all of that stuff.
medical grade oxygen, yes, sir. So if it could, for, you know, some other they have thousands of contracts. Some of them may be beneficial to us that may not be to others, and vice versa. So,
How long did it carry on before you caught it?
well, I've actually been after a rep for several years now, and I think they've had some reps change hands. And I could never get response from the reps. And so I pursued a different avenue through this buying group, to try to make contact with someone from the air gas company. And finally got a contract in place and talking to some folks. I think that there was a lot of turnover during that time, in my opinion.
Hallelujah for catching it.
Yeah, so.
Just an annual agreement or a multi-year?
This is gonna be
agreement?
a locked-in 5-year agreement, so we'll be locked into that price 5 years, which is
That's, I mean, with the price,
saving that much money is
Yeah.
pretty significant.
yeah, I mean, you feel like the price, even locking in, we're not gonna more than likely see those prices go down.
No, sir, I wouldn't see. I mean, unless they bid it out again, SAVIC bids it out again, it comes in lower prices. And then they would notify us, that it's,
Good work. I'll offer a motion to approve the agreement, is it with air gas?
yes, sir, it's with
With
air
air
gas.
gas and, yeah, authorize you as chairman to sign that agreement.
Second. Got a motion and a second to approve. You with us, Dr. Spire?
Yes, sir, I vote for it.
Okay. Got one on the Zoom vote, and I've got two up here. That makes it unanimous.
Next item, Mr. Westbrook, moving on to item number 5. This is a request for board approval. As the commission recalls, the county was awarded funding for design work on a piece of River Road, and we executed a grant agreement with FDOT. Now we're ready to issue a task order to DRMP based on our rotation of engineers to perform the design work on that portion of River Road. So we're asking board approval and to execute the task order with DRMP.
See, Jason's here, but I guess we've been funded for the design, but has any portion of the construction been funded as of that?
No, sir, not at this time.
About how many miles?
Chairman, I vote.
About how many miles is that, Jason, or that? Do we know from, what is it, from Cox Road to Brinson Road?
Yeah.
Right at 3 miles.
3 miles?
Okay. The worst part of it.
Chairman, I move approval.
Did you hear, Mr.
I heard Dr. Spire.
I said I move approval.
Got a motion. Second. All in favor, but signify by your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Unanimous.
Jason, how long do you think it'll take? How long do you think the design process will take?
It takes us June to right around. Construction. As we move forward and complete the design, we'll reapply for DOT grants for construction.
Is surveying is part of your contract? Who will you use? Southeast or?
We have our own.
You have your own? Thank you.
I've almost got to a dangerous position there on the River Road. Move ahead.
Okay, Mr. Westbrook, the next item, number 6, this is associated with Alliance Road. They have completed that project. This is the final change order, which adjusts quantities and price, and it is to execute all the closeout documents associated with the final payment to the contractor. We're asking board approval of the final closeout change order.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Second. You with us, Dr. Spire?
Yes, I am.
All right,
Real quick, we happy with the work, Rhett? Since this is in,
sure.
I think Commissioner Branch's district, I haven't ridden that road, but feel pretty.
If you,
Several times and spoke with the contractor, them few touch-ups, but everything is good.
provided you write it, you won't forget it. These potholes that deep in. All in favor of the motion, signify by raising your right hand. You with us, Dr. Spire?
Yes, sir, I vote in favor. Mhm.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 7, Mr. Westbrook. This is, if the commission will remember, several months ago, we sold surplus equipment and vehicles, and Mr. Mason handled that auction for us, which generated almost $400,000. We also have a number of leased vehicles that we do not have the option to purchase. And so we recommended turning the vehicles in and then turn around and use the dollars that we generated from the auction to purchase replacement vehicles. The board approved a RFP to obtain proposals on those vehicles. That was completed, and we're asking the board to approve the purchases as a result of the invitation to bid. So asking for board approval.
What the board pleasure?
Questions?
Have a motion to approve. All right, thank you, Dr. Spire. Approval in a second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign.
Mr. Westbrook, I would like to point out that we
Yes.
did use the local preference on approximately 3 of those vehicles or more because they were within 5% of the purchase.
I was gonna ask if we.
The next item, Mr. Westbrook, item number 8.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question, please? Before we move on, please. Okay, Mr. Dean, the purchase of these vehicles, would it be distributed through all departments or just a couple or 3 or 4, or how's that gonna be handled?
I believed it touched a number of departments, just scanning it real quickly, animal control, fire rescue, road and bridge. It was just a number. It was not concentrated on any one department, Mr. Spires.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Move along.
Item number 8, Mr. Westbrook, is board approval of the procurement policy. I know that the board has approved some changes in the past, but based on one of our previous meetings as it related to direct purchases, and also we're using a new electronic purchasing as it relates to a number of things, but these changes accommodate the direct purchases, inventory tracking, and things of that nature. Other than that, there were no significant changes, but we did go ahead and ask Neighbors Gibling and Nickerson to review the procurement policy, which they did, recommended a few changes, but overall, we're recommending approval of the revisions and the procurement policy.
So that the inventory control and property management, section 14 was added in its entirety.
I'll let Lindsay answer that question. Derek?
That was added due to a request from FPEM to add language regarding our inventory tracking. The process is what we are currently doing. We just are putting them in writing.
With that being said, I'll offer a motion to approve the purchasing policy, the updated purchasing policy.
Second. Got a motion and a second to approve the updated purchasing policy. Dr. Spires, you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All in favor? Raise your right hand. Dr. Spires with us? Yes or no, please?
I voted in favor.
Okay.
And I said purchasing policy, but I don't think it makes any difference, but actually it's defined as procurement policy, so for the record.
We can strike the word to make procurement, if that's what you want to do, Mr. Donifred. That'd be just fine.
Next item, Mr. Westbrook, is item number 9. This is the request board approval for staff to solicit for Realtor Services RFQ with, for surplus and inventory properties that are held by the county. We have discussed this on more than one occasion, obtaining the services of a realtor to help us with the liquidation or disposal of surplus and inventory property.
Question there. Do we have a question for those realtors and before we just pick one?
Hopefully we'll get a number of responses from the solicitation, and then as I understand, we will very likely turn that over to the board for ranking and approval of one realtor.
I'll offer a motion to go ahead and approve the release of the solicitation and authorize you as chairman to sign.
Second. Motion and second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. You with us, Dr. Spire?
Yes, sir. I vote in favor of.
Okay, thank you. That moves it along.
Mr. Westbrook, item number 10 is the agenda item that we tabled at the last meeting. It was an addendum to professional services agreement between the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners and DHM. Of course, DHM is the CEI for the hospital improvements. The county was successful at receiving community development block grant funding to help make improvements at the hospital. And so there was additional money awarded to the hospital. The additional money helped with additional work, which required the extension of time. And so we're also adding that the board approved additional fees associated with the additional work and time added to the contract.
And that money was community development.
100% of it will be funded by the CDBG grant provided through the state of Florida.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve it.
Got a motion to approve?
Second.
Second.
Okay.
All in, are you with me, Dr. Spire?
I am. I'm with you. Yes.
Okay. All in favor, signify by raising your right hand. And Dr. Spire?
I vote in favor. I vote in favor of the motion.
Okay.
Mr. Westbrook, the next item is item number 11. This is associated with the Endeavor Housing Project on Poosa Road. As the commission knows, there was a contract executed several months ago where the county agreed to sell approximately 250 to 300 acres to a development group. The group's name today is Lennar Homes, and they have requested an additional 30 days in time to extend the contract or the agreement. We've spoken to them by phone a couple of times. They have indicated that they would like to potentially be here this month to try and meet with at least maybe one board member. And Mr. Melvin, they definitely want to continue to move towards a closing on this. They are not backing out of the agreement, but they know that, we have a number of questions why we haven't closed on this deal. So we're asking for approval of Amendment 4 to extend the time of this agreement.
It's just.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think Dr. Spires had a question.
Go ahead, Dr. Spire.
Yes, I was going to ask Mr. Dean, are there some provisions in the event some other interested party should present themselves before this group makes a decision?
To take over the development of that property, Mr. Spires?
Yeah, I think you're saying this group is asking for some extension in terms of time before they make the final decision. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm saying in the meantime, if some other party became interested and came in and made an offer, then where are we in that regard?
Of course, that would Go ahead, Dr. Spires.
I'm sorry. I'm just wondering where that would put us. Are we locked into waiting on them, or could we consider the other interested party?
Of course, Dr. Spires, that would be up to the board, but the practice of the board over the past couple of years has been to do an RFQ to secure the services or to sell the property. So based on the practice of the board in the past, it would be my interpretation that you would go back and do another RFQ to try and identify a party that would purchase this property.
Okay. Ms. Parson, do you have any sentiments in that regard?
Yeah, and Dr. Spires, under the purchase and sale agreement, if you were to extend it for this additional period of time, they would still have that first, essentially not right of first refusal, but you would be bound to that until they have made a decision in accordance with the inspection period in section 5 of the agreement. So if someone else
So
comes
therefore,
along during that duration of time, you're still in this purchase and sale agreement unless it has concluded because either party decided to get out of the agreement.
okay. So I guess I'm thinking hypothetically, if someone came in and offered $100,000 more for the same property, we would be locked into this group that's asking for an extension. Is that right?
That is correct. But as the county administrator also said, pursuant to the Florida statutes, when it talks about surplus property too, you wouldn't be able to just accept an unsolicited bid for the property either. You'd have to put it back out.
It just seemed like an all-win situation for them and not anything for the county, to me, in my opinion. Am I way off base there?
Is there a termination clause, Ms. Parson?
I'll have to see what the termination clause is or what the specific performance clauses provisions are. And I can get back to you on that as soon as I look at it.
All right, thank you.
I've been, this is, I think, the fourth time extension that we've given. They've indicated in accordance to my conversations with Mr. Dean that they are still interested in moving forward. I think at one time they were having not issues, but they were going through the process with the city of Mariana on the annexation issues or something, which was holding them up. And I think at this point in time, they've got a lot of time invested in it. We've got a lot of time invested in it. I'd say let's another 30 days at this point in time is not gonna break the deal. So I'll offer a motion to approve the amendment. And I'll say the chairman sign.
Make a motion to approve the amendment.
I second it, but the question I have is, there's a lot of property have been sold over the years. It's just nothing been done. And, or we give them a bargain on getting that whole 200, 300 acres, whatever that is. My thinking is, if there's some way you could release that a little at a time, because you give them that and to build a couple of houses or don't build no houses, and it just sits out there growing up. And we need to have some kind of connection in there. I mean, if they go there and build it all full, that'd be good. But I do know some property that's been bought like that for development that is still just set there.
By the county?
But the county didn't buy it, no.
Oh.
No, from other people.
Oh.
From other people. Don't matter where county or the other people, property sitting there not being done anything. And I guess people still own it from wherever, or somebody does. But I'm just saying, before we kind of give them, I don't mind giving them a pretty good deal to try to get houses in here for people to live in. But they go and build 2 houses on 200-300 acres, and then that ain't going too good for them. They just let it sit. If there's some way or another we could release some at a time, a section, and start giving the whole 200 acres. Because what if we get something come in here that wants the whole 200 acres and build a factory or something?
Well, again, their intention, and I understand what you're saying. The intentions sometimes don't always come to fruition.
Yeah.
But I think we're selling it to them for $500,000. How many acres is it? You recall?
300.
300 acres.
280, it says.
Yeah.
300 right there.
That's a significant investment in that property.
Very much.
I would think you would hope that they have every intent.
Oh, yeah,
And from a financial
Yeah.
standpoint, I'm sure their model, is based on, you know, developing more than two houses for sure.
that's right, okay,
But
okay.
I feel that, what you're saying,
Okay.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Well, I mean, since you bring that up before we, I know.
Maybe-
not before
maybe
we-
it'll
I
have to
just
come.
wonder if there's any way we could kind of protect our interests a
One
little
of the
bit.
pieces of property that we did give away, and I think it was one of my first years on the board, was a piece of property not too far from there, that we gave to Mr. DeLaw, and with the hopes of, having something constructed there, and you know, he's cleared the property, but, that's another prime piece of property that, we may need to revisit that at some point in time. I
Yeah,
know
we
he's
may.
been having issues with DOT. Has there been any movement or any conversations with Mr. DeLaw about that piece of property? Any updates?
Mr. Donafro, we have looked at, that in the past couple of months, and there are some deadlines associated with what he needs to do. And there has been a legal, letter, opinion given by the attorney that reviewed the agreement, because we're wanting to know what we need to do in order to get the property back. But I would be speculating and not telling you the truth if I tried to guess what I recall from that.
Well, I mean, that certainly falls into the category you're talking about.
Yeah, it's sitting there in the middle of somewhere you can't do anything with. I think it should be a deadline. If he don't meet that deadline, we get it back. You know, I mean, that's even going somewhere like that, you
I
know.
think we've granted him maybe 2 extensions or maybe more. I don't know.
At least that many.
Yeah.
We can chase that down, Mr. Crutchfield and Mr. Johnson.
Maybe readdress our contract time coming.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, okay.
So I made a motion.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Bill seconded.
I remember.
Okay. Sometimes we get off track.
Yeah.
All in favor, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, you with us, Dr. Spire?
Yes, sir, I am, and I'm in opposition to the motion.
Okay. Fine. Motion carried.
Next item, Mr. Westbrook, is item number 12. This is associated with Project Blue Sky, the community development block grant that we received in conjunction with that project. It was originally, I believe, a CDBG economic development grant, which had job creation associated with it. And if you didn't create the number of jobs, there were some clawbacks associated with it. We have requested that the Department of Commerce change the category of that grant. And so they have agreed to do that. It's now a CDBG. It's still an economic development, but it's more like a planning grant, where we would not be responsible for paying any of it back, because it falls under the classification of a urgent need type project. And so we're asking the board to amend the current grant agreement with amendment number 3, which changes it to an urgent need type grant and changes the amount to $813,140.
And what does this pertain to?
This is the Project Blue Sky on Mashburn Road, where you turn right off of Kinesville Highway. You get to the curve. Right there at that curve, the county is developing a site to build a spec building, for a lack of a better way to say it. Originally started out with multiple businesses wanting to go there. They all fell through, and the board actually approved an MOU with Woodalls to agree to rent it once we get the building constructed. But again, all this does is change the category of the grant to an urgent need, where there is no job creation requirement, and changes the amount. There are other changes, but those are the significant changes.
So now, we, in the past, have hired an architectural firm to, I think we paid the architectural firm, I think out of Tallahassee, to do some design work for a facility for those tenants that fell through. Are we gonna be able to use those plans, or is this paying for additional design services?
And I believe that Hunter's here with DHM, but we will continue to use the same contractor, and I believe they have a architect on staff. They're modifying the plans for the revised project.
Make a motion to approve it.
Motion made to approve it.
Second.
Well, obviously need a second right there. Got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. You with me, Dr. Spire?
Yes, sir. I vote in, in the affirmative.
Okay. Move on.
Okay, the next item, Mr. Westbrook, is item number 13. This is a work authorization for a feasibility slash design for the Magnolia Bridge, Magnolia Landing site. The county has been successful at receiving some dollars to make improvements. The first part of that is to develop a feasibility plan and design, which would, once it's been developed, we would actually bring it back to the board for consideration. But this is to actually sign the grant agreement associated with engaging the services of DHM to perform the design and feasibility study.
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I would like to request, I don't think any conceptual design has been started yet. I think I mentioned this at the last meeting. That actual landing is in my district, and I've gotten some ideas. I've talked to some people, and I'd like to when that process gets started, Hunter, to be kind of involved in the initial early phases of those conversations.
Yes, sir. And
That's okay.
Yes, sir.
And I would also like to
I would cherish that.
add, Mr. Westbrook, that we have engaged or solicited comments and input from Mr. Melvin actually before this started and during the process, and he will continue to be a part of that process.
I make a motion to approve it, and I have Commissioner Donald's request.
I'll second that motion.
I'll take your second and your motion. All in favor, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Dr. Spires, you with me?
Yes, sir. I vote for it.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Mr. Westbrook, the next item, number 14, is a request for board approval of the amendment for the medical examiner interlocal agreement. Jackson County, as well as Washington Bay, Calhoun, and Gulf, use the same medical examiner. The cost of those services is prorated amongst those counties. We're asking the board to approve the interlocal agreement. And I would like to point out that last year, our cost was approximately $161,000. This year, it's $189,000.
Heard the recommendation. What's the board?
In the written portion, it says Jackson County's portion of the agreement is 158.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's, you're exactly right.
Okay.
Commissioner Donfro. It has gone down.
Right.
$1,000.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I was going to ask Mr. Dean, if I may, how do they determine the costs? Is it based upon population or what?
The prorated amount, as I understand, it's based on population. But the actual cost is, I don't have an answer for you on that unless Red or Lindsay know how that is established.
Okay, I'm just curious, what are we paying in comparison to Bay County, which is a larger county, significantly larger
I
county?
believe it's on the page 213. It shows Bay County share is almost $750,000.
713. 139. Did you hear that, Dr. Spires?
I'm sorry, say it again, please.
According to this table, Bay County's portion is $718,139.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Then we're next in line.
Yeah, praise the Lord. But
Next.
I don't mind being second right there. Not a bit.
But I guess
What's the board's pleasure?
I make a motion to approve it.
A motion?
I second it.
Nod with it. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Spires. Motion and second
Thank
to
you.
approve. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. And Dr. Spires?
I vote for it. Yes, sir.
Okay. Moving on.
Mr. Westbrook, the next item is item number 15. I'm not sure if the board saw the announcement done recently by the governor. We had requested some rural infrastructure fund money. The Department of Commerce recommended that we move that from rural infrastructure fund money to community development block grant funds. Those funds were to develop a well site and a elevated water storage tank. And the governor announced that we received funding for that project in the amount of almost $3.5 million. And so in conjunction with the formal application process, the county has to conduct 2 public hearings. We're asking the Board of County Commissioners to allow us to set the 2 public hearings. The first one would be the 20th of this month, and the second one would be the 27th. Of course, the 20th is not during a regularly scheduled meeting. It would be at 5 o'clock, and we have to have at least 3 commissioners present for that.
Out of 10.
So we're asking for the board to set the public hearings for those 2 dates.
Chairman, I move that the
Go
public
ahead,
hearing
Dr.
dates.
Spire.
I move that the public hearing dates be set according to Mr. Dean's recommendation.
Second. Got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. We with me, Dr. Spire?
Yes, I'm with you. Yes. Mhm.
Thank you. What's so funny about that right there is we had everything fine on that a year ago from the president of the Florida Senate. And they completely dismantled every bit of it. And the governor wanted to do it his way, I guess. So there's one thing about it. They can't disband him, I guess, but he wanted his name on it. So bless his heart. We're thankful of it. But we had the same thing last year.
So with more than one way to skin a cat.
That's right. More ways to get the sneeze side going down that head.
Move on.
Yes, sir, please.
Mr. Westbrook, next item is item number 16. This is request for approval of the Blue Springs concessionaire agreement extension. We're only asking for a 1-year extension where we could have done a 3. The reason for only asking for the 1 is we would like to renegotiate the concessionaire agreement, RFQ it or RFP it, because we'd like to modify the agreement to where it's similar to the state of Florida's concessionaire agreements, a little bit longer term, so that maybe we could get additional improvements out of the respondents to those RFPs.
So by going to a 10-year contract term, I feel like that'll put us in a better position.
We believe that if we do a 10-year, then your proposals will incorporate more improvements that they would pay for rather than us.
Because it's a longer term agreement.
Yes, sir.
They don't mind investing the additional dollars knowing that they'll be there for a long period of time.
Yes, sir.
All right, you heard the recommendation. What's the board's pleasure?
I make a motion to approve it.
Motion to approve by Mr. Crutchfield. Second by
Second.
Mr. Donald. All in favor, raise the hand. Right one. That'll work. Dr. Spires, you with me?
Yes, sir. I vote to approve.
Okay, thank you. Move on.
Okay, the next item number 17, Mr. Westbrook, is the board approval of a task order to perform a survey on the property that is owned by Camp Real Life. This is in conjunction with our workout agreement with Camp Real Life associated with their water and sewer, and where they would give us a piece of property for this elevated water tank in exchange for the payments on the water and sewer bill that they owe the county. So we're asking the board to approve the task order or to engage a survey for that property.
You heard it.
Chairman, I move approval.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Spires.
Welcome.
Motion and second to approve. All in favor, raise your hand. All the same sign. Dr. Spires.
Yes, I'm with you. Yes, sir.
Okay, move on.
Mr. Westbrook, the next item is item number 18, requesting board approval which would be the waiver of rental fees associated with the use of the Ag Complex on Penn Avenue by the Mariana High School boys football team to accommodate their banquet to be held on January the 20th of this year. I don't know if Mr. Stewart is still here with the young men from Mariana High School, but I think he wanted to make the formal request.
All right, thank y'all for having us today and entertaining this. Thank you for coming. The young men lost the venue they had in place to have this banquet they have normally annually. It is for the football team or football programs and also the cheerleaders. And I brought 3 of the young men with me today that also want to thank y'all for your consideration for this waiver of fees. That helps them a lot. Thank you for bringing.
Good morning, I'm Stephen Stewart. Thank y'all. I really appreciate it. It's definitely helped to the program. That money that would have gone for the fees can get used for other stuff like football helmets and jerseys and stuff like that. So we appreciate it. Thank y'all.
We're glad to entertain that. Go ahead.
Good morning, I'm Bryce Mitchell. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, my name's Clifford Cooper, and I want to say I do thank y'all, because that money that y'all were placed for us basically can go to more things that we can use during the field and better our players. Thank y'all.
We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time to come up here and accompany Mr. Stewart with your request.
Y'all didn't get away from school a little bit. Actually, we had a lot of people decline because they're dual enrolled in college, so. Good. We encourage them to go to class. Well, we're glad to have you. But they're going to school when they leave. That's all right. I wanted to miss every day I could. Anyway, what's the board's pleasure?
Offer a motion to approve the waiver of the rental fees and allow them to move forward.
Second, got a motion and a second to approve. You with me, Dr. Spire?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm voting affirmative.
All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. And you, Dr. Spire?
I'm voting for it. Yes.
Thank you. All right.
Thank y'all.
That lines it up. You got anything else?
Yes, sir. There's one, under section 5, there was I believe Mr. Spires, had a public works project that he wanted to reference.
Go ahead, Dr.
Yes,
Spires.
yes, sir. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is Mr. Register still there? Jeffrey Register, is he still
Yes,
there?
sir.
Yes, he is.
Okay, maybe you can help me out with the road name. I had a request from a constituent in Greenwood, Florida, who wanted just a very short section of a road. I can't think of the name. Maybe Mr. Register can help me for our brush cutters to cut back. So I wanted to ask the board if they would consider that as a public works project and allow that work to be done. Mr. Register, can you cite the name of the road in Greenwood?
It should be Allen Street.
Allen Street, is that
Come
right?
to the podium, please. Accommodate the old person.
It should be Allen Street. It runs on the west side of Peanut Mill, runs north off of Highway 162, and it's on down past the Peanut Mill at the very end of it.
It's not a county road,
It's not a city.
and the request is just to
Just to do some trimming back on it. I know.
City Street, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve.
second.
Second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Dr. Spires, you
Move
with me?
for it.
Thank you.
I'm with you, and thank the board for considering this request.
Thank you.
Mr. Westbrook, that is all the agenda items, but I do have 2 things when the board is.
Okay, I have two. Mr. McCoy is here to present a little something to us out there where his property is on East 90, right across from the place we call the Tabernacle. That's not the name of it, but come forward, Mr. McCoy.
Good morning, everybody.
All right.
I was just kind of looking for a little information on my place out there. I thought when we started, this thing was probably gonna be a couple of months of putting the line in, and, you know, I tried to deal with y'all about putting it all up beside the highway instead of all the way around that ditch and all them, and I will continue having problems with that. And, I was thinking of that and the easement and everything that they've got to, work by and everything there, like when it comes off of 90 on the NEC, I think it's 34 foot. Then as it goes around and it gets down where the plan is, it's down to 30 foot. And then we got a 50-foot square there for the plan. So we got 30 foot out to the road till it gets almost to the road, then it cuts down to 19 foot, which is just easement, you know, for everybody to use. And as of probably now, I know all y'all been by there, they probably got easy 2 or 3 acres covered up out there. And it's done got so bad, I done took the for sale signs down and all that to, I just hate for people to see it, you know, in that kind of mess, really. And I was wondering, you know, if there's something we can do about it. And also, Mr. Rett, yeah, I think it's been probably, I don't know, what, close to probably a year ago or something like that. We talked about raising the manholes, you know, when raising it up, and we talked about that. And then I was out there, I don't know, about a month ago and talked to Mr. Billy, and he was there and he said, but the man said, I don't know nothing about no manholes. We ain't raising no manholes. I don't know nothing about it. So I don't know if everybody ain't on the same page or what's going on. If they don't raise the manholes, they're gonna be covered up, you know, because I'm gonna probably add another, I hope I ever get back to it where I can work out there, a couple more foot of dirt out there. And so that's gonna make them manholes be, what, 4 or 5 foot under the ground where they at right now, something more or less than that. And I, you know, I kind of hate to see that. If we're gonna get them raised up, we need to get them raised, you know, and then I can go ahead and continue trying to put dirt in there, level it off in there. I thought by maybe this time, this has been going on in almost a year. I think I was up here with y'all probably last March or somewhere trying to make a decision on all this. And,
So who's Billy with? Who's Billy with, Mr. McCoy?
He's the one doing all the work out there.
Billy works for Blankenship Contract.
Blankenship, yeah. And, so if he don't know about what's going on, and him doing the work, you know, I don't know, it's probably some communications broke down somewhere or other, something. And, and also on some of the other stuff that's out there, like on the other end, where they got all kind of stuff piled down there. And it's Indian Springs stuff, I guess, cause some of this stuff's got Indian Springs Road on it. I don't know why I've ended up being a place out there for a yard, looked like a junkyard. Everything out there, or what the deal is, got a bunch of trees pushed up over on that side. On that side, and I hope they don't push them off in the ditch, you know, and get it all cleaned up and all when they get through. And so I was just trying to get a little information on some of that and how we're coming on it. And if I've got to furnish the land there for everything to sit on and all this section, they got rock piled up everywhere out there, and I hope they don't push off down in there. And all, if or some way that I ought to be compensated for some of that time and everything, about, you know, little monthly payments of some kind to kind of help take care, you know, for it's still laying there. I don't know, 26 acres there. I don't know what it's worth, $1 million, $2 million there. And it's just tied up, you know, can't do anything about it. And I'm still having to pay all the taxes and everything on it right on. So I was wondering, is there something that can be done there in that order? Y'all need to come look at it or ever what?
What's the board? Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Rhett, maybe, or Mr. Dean, whoever's got the most, information on the progress of that construction to kind of update the board. I know they got a lot of blue sewer pipe that's laid out there, along the, side of the road, and I see a couple of things that Mr. McCoy is talking about. I just assume they're using those materials that have been used with the construction.
That's right. So, a couple months ago, we expanded the scope of work for wayside rehab to include a new fourth main that comes up north for Highway 90. So that's the long piece of fusible pipe you see there. there's no breakdown in the manhole raising. That's not within Billy's scope of work, has nothing to do with rehab or any of the septic sewer projects at all. But as a matter of fact, the raised manholes would have been an obstruction for them when they come in. They have to remove the existing force main and then reinstall the fused force main. But all end work will remain in the existing utility easement. As far as the other materials there, Billy Carpenter with Blankenship and Mr. McCoy have an individual relationship. It's the contractor's responsibility to ensure that they have adequate property and permissions for lay down or any stored materials. So, be glad to, mention that to him, but that's the contractor's responsibility. But I think that pretty much covers everything.
And we'll be glad to meet with Mr. McCoy and Billy and the county on site if that's something that Mr. McCoy would be interested in.
I didn't want to, try to be real good about the place out there and all, because I know it's gonna benefit everybody when it's all said and done. But we're gonna keep going out there like that. And I know it's not even a good thing to say, do I need to go out and put a fence up around there 30 foot up and down that ditch and tell them to stay on that 30 foot, stay off of the rest of it, or?
Of course, we would appreciate you not doing that for it. But,
I would think that maybe a meeting, as you said, with Billy and Mr. McCoy and Rhett and Matty Dane, and I don't mind attending that meeting as well, just to understand a little bit more of what Mr. McCoy's concerns are.
That would be good. Well, and it's advantageous one way or the other to somebody, so that would be the way to do just what you said. That's my opinion.
Well, I think in reference to if they leaving or cleaned up, they need to clean it up, not push it off.
Yeah.
On the user how to be done, but if they still working there, they may work around.
It's in the county's best interest for them not to push that stuff into the ditch as well, so we'll make sure that does not happen.
Yeah. Mr. McCoy, would you like, if you would, like for me to give you a call and, schedule something, I'd be glad to try and coordinate a meeting with everybody on site.
Okay, be fine with me.
Okay. Can I get Mr. McCoy's number, the best number to call?
850-573-6307.
6307.
And we will reach out to you.
Just like Paul, I'll come out and look at it. Think this is my property when I want all this going on.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Anything else you got? I got one thing to mention about our farm service agency. We're operating our farm service agency with our farmers in the whole county. We're operating with a part-time farm service agency. We never had that before. We've had a full-time person. Jackson County, Florida is the largest row crop county in the state of Florida and makes our FSA office big. And we're trying to operate out there, or they are, the government is, with, I guess, a full-time office and a part-time job, for the way I guess I would describe it. But I would like to be, or hope we could be, that the board could write a letter to Armed Service Agency headquarters in Gainesville, as well as our United States senators and our congressmen, and see if we could get a little something to hear back from. That's in a dire strait for agriculture people. It's trying to, make a crop, start a crop. It's hard to work with.
It just came about recently, or is it?
No, we've been ongoing with that thing for, probably the last, I don't know about the part-time office, but I do know about the problems in changing. Every time we would change there, they would basically excuse them or fire them or whatever you want to call them. So really and truly, it's in the opinion of our agriculture community that Gainesville is causing most of that. But now, remember, if you've ever farmed, and I'm sure everyone may have, I have, and they're hard people to fight with. And because they have all the authority and you have none.
Mr. Westbrook,
Yes.
if I understand what you're saying, and at the direction of the board, of course, the Farm Service Agency is under the United States Department of
No
Agriculture.
doubt about it.
And there is a full position there as the supervisor of that office, for lack of a better way to say it, which falls under the Gainesville USDA
That's
Farm
correct.
Service Agency. The staff could, if the board would like, the staff could draft a letter to go to USDA in Gainesville, as well as the US senators, expressing our desire for them to get someone in there on a full-time basis.
That's the request, to have somebody there full time.
Yes, sir.
That's the request.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I don't know where we stand, but I think, Jackson County is a large agricultural county.
No doubt.
Probably could be the largest. in
It
the
is the
state.
largest office in the state.
And, I think with that there alone should be a little more, expected to try to have somebody there permanently, to try to help, keep agricultural going.
As you well know, around where your district and where you live, there's huge agricultural
Yeah.
interest there.
Yeah. A lot of farming, not only farming, cows, trees.
timber.
Well, that's
Timber,
true.
stuff like that, so it's,
A lot of different types of
yeah.
activities.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Go ahead,
Chairman.
Dr. Biden.
I'd like to move that the Board of County Commissioners endorse the chairman's recommendation to have staff draft letters to the appropriate people or agencies.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Everybody in favor, signify by raising their right hand. All opposed, the same sign. Thank you, Dr. Spire.
You're welcome, Mr. Chairman.
That's a big thing, as most everybody in this room knows, and most everybody, if you got agriculture interest, and we've had just a small part of that is mine, but we've had trees that blew down from the hurricane after Michael. We've had them laying in the middle of our fields, not only me, but numbers of them. Been laying there 2 years. The letter's not about me, but it's about all our fellow friends and ag people. And every one of us are touched by that one way or the other. But anyway, we have.
We will move forward with that.
Yes, thank you. Go ahead. You got, okay, go ahead.
One item, just for clarification, I think at our meeting when we concluded the interviews with the attorney firms.
Yes, sir.
When did I heard two different dates. When are we supposed to meet and make a decision on that?
Well, as far as what I'm concerned with is one of your dates probably heard in the newspaper, but they didn't, that wasn't the board, but my understanding was a couple of meetings.
And
That's right.
Mr. Westbrook, if I could, that was one of my items,
Okay.
Mr. Donifro.
Well, I'll be glad to.
Is to ask the board, in order to move forward with that selection process, if it would be okay with the board that at the next meeting, the commission could provide their top two candidates, so that the board could move forward with trying to identify the number one candidate to initiate a negotiation process on a contract.
At the pleasure of the board.
I would rather do it sooner than later. I mean, you don't want to get too far away from the interviews.
I agree with you.
Make that decision.
Dr. Spires, what's your opinion?
I think that the next board meeting would be fine,
Okay.
in my opinion.
My question would be, instead of, I've been involved on the other side of the table in architectural selections, and typically the process that they use, and I don't know whether it's any better or not, is to rank all of the firms that they interviewed. Of course, we interviewed all 6 of the responding firms,
Yes.
so it's a few more than typically that's whittled down from those that submit written proposals to those that are interviewed.
Yes.
I just want to make sure when we do it, we've got the capability of having the top firm defined. And I guess if you did one and
Yeah.
two, or five of us, doing that, that should work out. I'm okay with that.
Yes, I'm a little bit.
Go ahead, Dr. Spire.
Well, when we mention ranking, any idea what's the thought in terms of how we're going to rank these? Everybody could have a different ranking where we, with a tie, or how we handle that type of situation. Has that been decided upon, or it needs to be decided upon?
No, I don't think so.
And, if I could, Mr.
Go
Westbrook,
ahead.
it would be envisioned that, you know, the firms were ranked by the ranking committee, then they, the commission interviewed and.
If I may interrupt,
Yes, sir,
Mr.
go
Dean.
ahead.
Remember, my contention was that the ranking committee was not to select the county attorney. It is the job of the board of commissioners to select that individual or that group.
Yes, sir.
That's correct.
I think I emphasized that very, very heavily. Excuse me.
Yeah. But to move the process forward, unless the board has another alternative, would be for the commissioners on their own to identify their top two candidates so that in a board meeting, the commission could make a decision on who to negotiate with first on a potential contract.
But I guess it's conceivable what I'm saying, that each commissioner could have top two choices could differ.
Yeah, that's the reason why
And
I
then
said it may be
then
better.
where does that leave us?
It may be better to rank all six of them, 1 through 6. I mean, what would be and that way, I mean, what would be the downside of doing that?
I don't know that I can answer you. Go ahead.
I think by, like Mr. Dean saying, if you rank the two top, and hopefully one of them two top will fall into at least 3 rankings, and that'd be the way you had to go, you know? Be like voting.
Well,
You know, if you come up with give it here and you had one attorney firm that was ranked, at least 3 ranks on, that would be the one to be selected, be the same as voting.
well, I'm not opposed to any way we do it, but.
But I don't know how you do that if you
do
have them all.
What I would say is, what if we all got a different candidate, so we got to stay
I
in?
don't think it's possible, but yeah, I mean, if 5 of us could come up with, there's no way that we could mathematically come up with
See,
5
we
different.
come up with 5, but not 6.
Right. I just think whatever process we settle on, that however, whatever quantifies that firm as the number 1 ranked firm, that's the one we go with.
Well, I myself would, if I had the opportunity to vote today, I would vote one higher than the other at number 1 and one at number 2, but that's not saying that's the right way to do it.
But, and if I could, Mr.
Sure, go ahead.
If whatever the commission wants to do, we'll help facilitate that.
Yeah.
But if you list all 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I mean, and then you could potentially have 5 different number 1s.
That's right.
And,
Yeah.
if you only limited it to your top 2, then, like Mr. Crutchfield said, maybe you would have at least one of them that has 2 or 3, that one firm, it was number 1 by 2 or 3 commissioners.
The way I've seen it done, again, and I've sat on both sides of the table, is you rank all of the interviewing firms 1 through, in this particular case, 6, with the top firm, your top firm being ranked number 1. All 5 of us would do that. You would total those scores up, and the firm that had the lowest number would be your top ranked firm.
And like Mr. Spires said, though, the Board of County Commissioners, if you had them 1 through 6 and the board said, we think number 6 could do the job the best, then you could go with number 6. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I just give us some direction and we'll try and help get you there.
I think if you could, there's 5 board and one that comes up with at least 3, maybe more than that. At least 3 of the same one would be be just like you ranked them. And, you know, like the ranking thing was, that's what you'd be doing is ranking them, but if you come up, three of you come up with the same one, that'd be the one you select. You know, even though it wasn't five, you know, if you did six, you kindly go and juggle the thing, and if you don't come up with at least three, then what are you gonna do then?
Well,
With two, with just two, you have a better chance of coming up with one with three votes.
I agree with you. I myself would like to do it number one, number two, with a clear understanding of one and clear understanding of two. And that way, if you don't negotiate with one, you can negotiate with the other one or whatever, you know, but now I don't care. I do whatever way y'all want to do.
They're all good, but you only gonna select one.
That's right.
Yeah. They probably gonna,
Well, I think,
reprimand us anyway.
I think we have a better chance doing it faster, doing the, like Mr. Dean says, two top we done, you're gonna come nearer picking one, at least three, at least three.
Go that route and we'll
That's
be
the way I think.
prepared to do it at the next meeting.
Well, say,
To announce it at the next meeting.
I would say, you know, again, I think what we're saying is, okay, we go through that process, we have a clear number one and number two.
Yeah.
Then we would sit down, we'd ask staff to sit down with the top ranked firm and negotiate the details of that agreement. And then if you couldn't come to some sort of agreement with the contractual terms, then you would go to the second round.
You hear that, Dr. Spires?
Yes, sir, I do. I have a suggestion, or if the board will endorse me on this, is that if we could perhaps direct our county administrator, Mr. Dean, to look at what's called a Likert scale, Likert, and you look at each firm and you rank them. Each one of the commissioners will rank them, whether they get a 1 point, 2 point, whatever, and then you add those points up at the very end, and it should yield a 1 or 2 person firm that the board will ultimately decide upon. It's something that you can look at. I think will be a lot more objective than what we're talking about right now.
Again, can you explain that one more time, Dr. Spires? Because that may be kind of what I was.
Yes, it's a Likert scale. You take the 1 through 5. Each firm will get points attributed to them based upon whether, you know, what you feel the criteria are. And then you add those points up and it should yield a number 1 firm, a number 2 firm, whatever. And then the board can decide if they want to negotiate with the number 1 firm. And if not, that doesn't work out, they can move on to the number 2 firm or 3 or what have you. But to me, that adds a lot more objectivity than just me saying, I'll give this person 2 or 1 or whatever. But you're looking at several different components of the firm.
So are you suggesting then that staff comes up with a certain number of criteria on which you would rank each one of the firms, you know, whatever those criteria are, experience, presentation capabilities, whatever those criteria are, there's 4 or 5 criteria, and you rank each firm highest to lowest based on those criteria. And
that's what,
yeah, which is
that's what I'm suggesting. And you maybe keep it kind of simple, 1 through 5 for each category.
So you could still conceivably have a firm, 2 firms tied at the top.
You could.
True. And in that case, then the board will whittle that down a little bit more.
Again, that's kind of similar to what I had proposed of ranking all 6 of them.
Yeah,
Instead of ranking them on criteria, I just said rank each firm from your most qualified based on any criteria that you want to consider, all the way down to the least qualified. And the firm, each one of us hand that in, and the firm that has the lowest number would be your highest ranked firm.
And that that's kind of like a request for proposals anyway, basically. And
but at least we have some criteria that we're looking at, other than just assigning point value.
you talking about if you rate them 1 through 10.
No, what I was saying, rank them 1 through 6.
1 through 6.
Well, so whichever firm you felt was the most qualified based on whatever criteria you wanted to judge that on, you would rank that firm number one.
Okay.
And I would do the same, all five of us would do the same thing. We would add those scores up, and the firm that had the lowest number of points would be your highest ranked firm. So if we all agreed that firm A was the highest one, they would have a score of 5. And nobody could beat that. It's similar to what Dr. Spires is suggesting, in that you're still you're grading all 6 firms, but instead of grading each firm on a number of criteria, you're just grading them based on who you think the most qualified is.
You have to vote on all. Go ahead.
I think by doing that, I think that you're gonna kind of mix it up so
Jump it
much
up.
that you won't come up with 3 of number 1.
Well, you
You know,
don't
it'd
come up,
be-
you should
could be-
more than
could be
likely come up
better.
with 6 different scores.
Yeah.
More than likely come up with 6 different scores. You start out with the first one. If you can't negotiate if you can't negotiate a contract with the first one, you go to the second one. If you can't do that, and third one, you'll work all the way down. If you go through 6 of them, you can't negotiate a fee, then you throw them out.
Oh, I got you, and then we don't know how to vote on it.
Right.
We just ranked them and then,
The highest ranked firm is the
but
one
if
that you.
I kind of looking at, you know, you gotta have the highest rank, whoever I think the highest rank, it's probably something different than what you think, something different he thinks, something different he thinks, then you ain't got, you're back to square one.
Right.
So you're trying to get at least 3, narrow it down where you get at least 3, and then negotiate with them. If you don't, go to the next one. It's not that the rest of them's out.
Do you have to vote on all 6?
You can go back and negotiate and start going down the list. I don't know. Whatever.
I can live with that as long as you can vote on what you
I
please.
just think if you're trying to rank them all, you're not gonna come up with 3 of the same number.
And you're not necessarily trying to come up with 3. You're just
figured
you're just trying to segregate all 6 of them from the most qualified to the least qualified. And you start out with the
Well, when you're gonna negotiate, you need to come up with a majority or number 1.
That should take care of itself.
Huh?
That should take care of itself.
Okay.
Obviously, we're not gonna all agree, gentlemen, but what I'm saying, at least you have a numerical value that you can add and determine which one came out objectively. You know, what may be a number 1 candidate for me may not be that with Commissioner Donifro or Commissioner Crutchfield, you know. But if you got a numerical value, you have something there that you can look at, you can add it up, and that will give you a more objective number than just me saying, oh, I think Firm Smith and Jones is the best one. Well, that's just my opinion.
If we all come up with different number 1, you're gonna negotiate with all the different number 1s.
Again, what you do is, whether you're using Dr. Spiner's process or my process, is very similar. You're gonna add those up, and you're gonna more than likely come up with a highest ranked firm, a second highest ranked firm, third, fourth, fifth. Probably not gonna end up with it, because if the firm that I think is number 1 is your number 6 firm, and your number 6, everybody else is number 6, that point total is gonna be 6 times 4 plus 1. It'll be 20, his numerical value is gonna be 25. That's more than likely gonna put him down at the bottom, or somewhere close to the bottom. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, you're probably gonna come up with 5 different sets of numbers, more than likely, or 6 different
Well,
sets.
you would if you do it by 6, yeah.
And-
I just
and
think
so
that it could come up, but each one of them have a different number 1.
So the quantified number would dictate who we're going to negotiate with first, not the interview process. The interview process had a bearing on it.
Yeah.
But you're saying that the numbers determine who we interview, not the firm that.
And when you say interview, I'm saying that's who you begin your negotiations with. We've already done the interviews.
Yeah.
This is just, I mean, that, whatever firm ended up quantifyingly being the top ranked firm, we're saying you're the top ranked firm. We want to enter into a contract negotiation with it.
All right, let make so that we make sure that we give you what you need. What we're saying is that we interviewed 6 firms, and the commission will go away and at the next meeting, we'll identify of those 6 firms who 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is. And then based on those rankings, the firm that has the highest number is the lowest ranked. The firm with the lowest number is number 1. And whatever that number works out to be, then that's who you're selecting.
That's right.
To negotiate with first.
If you're unsuccessful in negotiating.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and with regards to the ranking, under the law, the ranking has to be done by you all literally sitting up at that dais and doing the ranking right then. Then it has to be tallied by us here in the public too. You can't even take a break. We have to tally it right in front of you and then read it out loud. If you have a tie or the rankings, there's some issues with the rankings, you still have the discretion to then be able to say, okay, these are our rankings, let's narrow it down, and then give board direction as to how you want to proceed. So you do have that discretion. The ranking can help with the process, and then you all in the end get to make the motion of who you want staff to start negotiations with.
But you know, that's a process that we've gone through as architectural firms vying for an architectural contract with client. I think the same thing with engineers. That ranking, that grading and ranking process is a process used to the, and then as Dr. Spire says, you've got some documentation as to how you arrived at that number 1.
What's your date on the next board meeting, Mr.?
The 27th, I believe, Mr. Westbrook.
Okay, I was about 2 weeks.
And so if I understand what Ms. Parsons said, you may have the number 1 ranked, the number 2 ranked, the number 3, but in the meeting, if you decide to go with the number 2 as your number 1, then that's the discretion of the board.
I would be hard pressed to.
Yeah.
I would be hard pressed to deviate that, but you could, I guess. But
yeah, I would struggle.
If we went through that process and we ended up with firm G as the number 1 ranked firm, I'd say that's who we stick with. Now, if we have 2 firms that end up totaling the same amount, then that's when that discussion could come in, and we might be able to come to some consensus as to how to separate them. And
And in terms of the scoring, I mean, both ways that you and Dr. Spires have discussed are both valid ways that have been done on several procurement throughout the state. So it's really the determination of how you want to do that. If you do go through Dr. Spires' way, if you can give us kind of the broad different categories like experience, presentation, cost, of how you want that, so we can set up the ranking sheet appropriate for you all.
yeah, I think that's what you need, is what those criteria,
It's the guidelines for staff, yeah.
But we're talking about 2 different things now.
Right.
We've gone through a ranking committee, we've gone through an interview process. So are we talking about just the commission returning at the next meeting with their ranking of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Or are we going to develop another ranking criteria and go through the ranking process again?
Yeah, I'm more for not ranking and not coming up with another criteria, because I've assumed we've all looked through the written proposals. We've seen what that ranking committee that reviewed just the written proposals came up with. They came up with their ranking based on just the written proposal, which is all fine and good. Now, we've interviewed them, so we've not only seen their written submittal, but we've seen how they actually performed, and how they addressed all of those comments. So we're actually taking both the written and the oral presentations, taking that into account, taking all of that into account, and we're just saying, look, I know who I think my number 1 guy firm is, firm or person, and it's firm A, and my second would be firm so all the way down the line.
The interviews revealed a lot to me. I just have no other way of saying it. I was completely surprised by who it was, and nothing against anybody. I have no qualm no axe to grind with any of them. But I was impressed by some of the ones we interviewed, and I didn't even know who all we were interviewing, to be honest with you. So it didn't matter to me. But the interviews showed me who I thought was
Well,
number 1, 2, and 3.
try to move this along. I don't know whether you have any support. I'll offer a motion that we, at the next meeting, we be prepared to rank all 6 firms 1 through 6, turn those ranking based on both of, if you've had a chance to look through the written proposals and you've had a chance to sit through the oral presentations, based on who you think the number 1 ranked firm is the most qualified, rank them 1 through 6, and the firm that ends up with the lowest tallied figure ends up being the first ranked firm that was all the way along.
The only thing I got to add to that is affordability and what I would hate to have one that we've stuck with and be the most expensive. And that's all I have to add to that.
I think didn't.
Chairman, can I comment?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay. I believe Ms. Parson, correct me if I'm wrong, if I misheard you, that you said your firm could put together the criteria and the ranking forms for this body?
Either way, however you decide today, if you want to just rank them 1 through 6, we can create the score sheet that you rank them in the public meeting itself. Or if you want to do it on the criteria where you have different areas of criteria and you rank each 1 through 6 based on those criteria, we can help staff create that score sheet for you, is what I was saying.
Okay. I'm just thinking that a score sheet was
somebody. Go ahead, Dr. Spires. I'm sorry, I talked over you. Go ahead.
I think the score sheet and criteria would make it a lot more objective for this board to make a decision about who to select for legal services. You know, we are a body who works together, and obviously we have different opinions. So we need some kind of criteria about which to illustrate why you selected firm A versus firm B. I would feel a lot more comfortable as a board member. And if we have someone who can put this together for us, then we all contribute to that and ultimately choose a firm. Makes more sense to me.
And I agree with what you're saying. And I guess what I'm saying is that as I rank those, I am mentally going through that exercise of taking into account their experience. I'm taking into account what they've included in as far as their proposed fees. I'm taking into account how they handled themselves at the podium.
Yes.
Taking into account the references. I'm taking all that into account in coming up with my number 1 ranking. It's not just.
And I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, Commissioner Donafro. I think those are the factors that we're all going to consider, or should anyway.
Anyway, I've got a motion on the
All
floor.
right, the chair will entertain your motion. Restate it for us, if you will, please.
My motion is to be prepared at the next meeting to rank all 6 responding firms in descending order from your most highly qualified ranked firm as number 1 down through the least qualified down to number 6, taking into account all of the criteria that you would use to make that decision. And then at the end of that, we turn those rankings in to staff. They tabulate them, and the firm that has the lowest number be considered the most highly ranked firm, and right down the line to the least qualified.
Turn them in and have a selection at the next meeting.
Write them down and turn them in at that meeting. And then, whether we announce those rankings at that meeting or the next meeting, it doesn't matter to me. They need to be tabulated.
The case law says that actually, once you score, we have to tabulate and read it into the record right at that same meeting.
I'm good with that. Because it won't take
long. No.
Okay, go ahead.
How we're gonna make sure that we all use the same criteria?
I'm not.
We don't have to use the same criteria. I don't think, do we? I mean, there's nothing that says we have to use the same criteria.
That's the only fair way to. Commissioner Donafro, I think it's the only fair way to do it. That you're looking at this firm and I'm looking at the firm. We use the same grading criteria as opposed to us using some haphazard way of choosing.
I guess that's one way of doing it, but even if we use the same criteria, a lot of times what you think, what we may agree on the criteria, but the degree of importance may vary. So, you know,
Well, that's going to always be variable. But what I'm saying, if we had something, if we had a list of criteria and we all followed that criteria, then we would be looking at the same kinds of things and not different things that could lead us into nowhere land, in my opinion.
well, there again, I know what criteria I would be used to, in my mind, rank. So.
But you use the word I, and what you may use may not be what I would use.
Well,
Or
that's
Commissioner.
fine. I mean, that's
Mr. Daniel,
that's
you want to
democratic
speak?
approach.
Did you want to speak?
Yes, sir. Just
Go
wanted to
ahead.
add, we do have a ranking criteria that the ranking committee used that we could modify to add in, another line for oral interviews and assign different points for each section that the board could use as an independent ranking sheet.
Therefore, I've still got a motion on the floor.
I got your motion. Hey, even as long as it is, we still have it. That's all right, that's fine. That's your opinion, that's what you're
I'm
entitled
not doing that, but I think it's just gonna confuse the process. I think, cause you're gonna come up with.
Well,
Could come up with 5 different number ones. And
No, you can't, you know, only come up with one unless.
I know that, but I mean, my number one may be different than your number one, everybody else same. And so then, what you're gonna do then, now, you'll come closer with
it can be several of the
number
same.
one and number two, and not knocking any out, somebody's gotta go out anyway.
Yeah.
But not saying if you can't come up with negotiate a contract with neither one of the two of the last two, you go on back up to the next. Still got that, you ain't putting them out until they.
I'm assuming my motion dies for lack of a second.
Well,
so
I'm not too quick on that.
I'm just trying to get a decision made and let's move forward.
Come on, we're gonna go home.
Yeah, well.
Dr. Spires, you want to put a motion on the floor?
Dr. Spires, you want to make a motion?
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind making a motion. Okay. Again, I'm trying to think through as I'm making it here.
Thank
I
you.
would love to have a legal. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You go right ahead.
Okay. I would have our legal firm. I would love to have our legal representation work with us on establishing the criteria that we're going to judge every firm on, developing a scale, work with Mr. Daniels and other folks of some of the things that we looked at as we interviewed the candidates, and then each commissioner will grade the candidate or the firm, I should say, and then we will tabulate those points and determine the ranking, like what we're going to do. This is firm 1 we're going to look at, this is firm 2, all the way down. I think you said the 6 of them, Commissioner Jennifer, is that right?
6. I said what you said.
6 down to 6. That's the process I would love to see happen. And that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'll put that in the form of a motion.
That's a matter of me. I just think it'll simplify that a little better going with a two, cause you just narrow it down to them 2. So we gotta pick out our 2 highest are gonna come closer to being together, I think. But we can do it 1 through 6 like we're talking about.
We right where we started.
It's Dr. Spires' motion. I don't mean to speak for Dr. Spires, but basically he's asking staff to come up with a list of criteria that we rank all 6 of the firms on. And at the end of that ranking, we turn those rankings in. And again, the lowest ranked firm based on ranking each firm, all 6 firms on 4 or 5 or 6 different criteria. The firm that ends up being the lowest rank is your top ranked firm.
I thought that's what we were doing already.
Now, I was just saying, not rank them, not give a number for 5 different criteria. I'm just saying, give a number from 1 through 6 for each firm.
And we thought.
That's right. You would take all 6 of those companies and rank them. 1, your top ranked firm, number 1, and your lowest ranked firm, number 6, and everybody in between. all five of us would do that. We would turn those in, and the lowest ranked company would be the highest ranked
If you'll
firm.
make the motion again, I'll second. We'll try.
And I think you
Give it a
currently
shot.
have a motion, it doesn't have a second from Dr. Spires at this point.
It does.
Okay.
Well,
Can I?
do we not have to, if you shook your head for it, Madam Council, before, I basically have 2 or 3 in my mind that I'm satisfied with. So do we have to rank all 6 of them with your criteria?
I mean, are you uncomfortable doing that?
I am.
Okay. Well,
We go that way and it don't work out, when it goes to plan B.
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean that the sixth ranked firm is not a good firm. It just means that they're not as qualified as the other firms.
So just for
Well, let me
clarification,
ask what it is.
just for clarification, Mr. Westbrook, did Mr. Donifro's, proposal die for a lack of second?
Yes, it did.
Okay, and so Mr. Spires' proposal is still on the table then?
It is, but
Has it died for a lack of second at this?
yes, ma'am.
Done.
And so there's no motion on the floor?
No, ma'am.
Ain't his proposal the same as Mr. Donifro's? Mr. Spires, what's the difference?
Different.
In my understanding of what Mr. Spires has said and what Mr. Donifro said is that Mr. Donifro said, based on all the information you currently have, you would rank the attorneys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, based on the current information. Dr. Spires, as I understand it, I'm not speaking for Dr. Spires, but we would develop another set of criteria on how to rank the 6 candidates. And then that would be, based on that criteria, you would rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are different.
And that's used a lot. Matter of fact, that's how we've done a number of selections for a lot of different things. There's 4 or 5 different criteria. You assign 25 points for this criteria, 10 points for this criteria, 10 points for this criteria, and if I'm doing my math right, 55 for the other. And you rank them based on that, but that's more complicated to me of a process. I'm just saying rank them 1 through 6.
I think that
That's a simpler.
we've already listened to the interviews and all, you
Yeah.
know, when we need to have another
Exactly right.
conversation.
That's what I'm saying. You're taking all that criteria you should be taking all that criteria into account in your ranking. We're just not individualizing.
I think my idea is the same as yours, except I was just thinking if you did a whole bunch of them, you confuse the process. Yeah, and if you do, you like I say, you had to change it, you do something different. But I'm okay with that if you want to remake.
Oh,
Go ahead.
all I'm suggesting, gentlemen, is that let's just not jerk numbers out of the sky and give this person this firm a 20, this one a 15. Let's have some method by which to determine the numerical value of this criteria. And right now, I could look at this firm and say, oh, I think I'll give this firm a 15 and give this one a 20. That's not standing on solid ground, in my opinion. I need to have some way of justifying why this. I'm sorry. Go on.
We had a book and it tells us everything we really need to know. Do we need another group to tell us what we need to know and go through that too?
Are you asking me that, Mr. Crutchfield?
Well, I guess, or whatever.
He's asking the whole board, but
Whole board,
you
right.
can comment.
Okay. I was gonna say I'm not suggesting that at all.
Well, let me ask this, would it be within Robert's rules of order, since I offered a motion and it died for lack of second? Can I offer that motion again?
You can reset your motion because it wasn't voted on.
Right.
Go ahead. All right.
Correct.
Again, I'll offer essentially the same motion that at the next meeting, we be prepared as commissioners to rank all 6 of the firms in descending order, with the top ranked firm being given a numerical value of number 1, the lowest ranked firm being given a numerical value of 6, we turn those rankings over to staff, they tabulate them and announce the highest ranked firm. And they can rank them, they can list all 6 of them. This firm A was number 1 all the way down, 1 through 6. And then we, based on that ranking and that tabulation being announced, we ask staff to enter into negotiations with that top ranked firm.
And turn them in next meeting, next board meeting. I second.
Either turn them in or do them right then, whatever.
Got a motion and a second. Dr. Spires, you with us? We fixing to vote.
Yes, sir, I'm with you.
Okay. We got a motion on the floor by Mr. Donifro, a second by Mr. Crutchfield. All in favor of that statement, raise their right hand. All opposed, the same sign. Where are you, Dr. Spires?
I oppose, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right. Motion carries.
You were, for it, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Reluctantly, but yes.
Can I, I've got one thing, unless the.
You got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Mr. Westbrook, in the last meeting or the meeting before, the Board of County Commissioners approved a list of critical generators to be placed at critical facilities and throughout the county.
Yeah.
2 of those generators will go right behind this building for the county administration building and for the clerk of court. If we don't have control of that property on the corner, we're going to put them in the parking lot and take up parking space. We have discussed. Sorry.
You can have mine.
We have discussed with this landowner. We have obtained a preliminary title search of that property. The landowner has agreed to sell the property. We're asking the board to, number 1, allow us to enter into an MOU with that landowner. Number 2, to acquire the property for $15,000. And we would wind up paying the back due taxes if we're satisfied with the lien position, then we would come back and ask the board to move forward with a closing.
That's a good bargain for that piece of property. You talking about the one right out the back door?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
One that's just been cleared.
Yes.
I make a motion, we do it.
I'll second that.
I got a motion and a second to buy the piece of property for $15,000 to put the generators on. All in favor, raise their right hand. All opposed, the same sign.
I think it'll
Motion carries.
come about as a result of that process, but we definitely want to make sure that we locate those generators.
Dr. Spires.
Go ahead, Dr. Spires. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I vote in favor. I vote in favor
Okay, thank you.
of the property first.
I was just gonna say, Dr. Spires, that we want to make sure that we locate those generators so that at some point in time, if we ever want to expand this parking, because it's kind of tight to get a truck around there, that we have the capability of adding some additional parking there as well.
Just think about parking straight up that hill and then getting out of your truck.
Should take a whole lot for a generator, had it?
Should.
No.
I mean, we just don't, I guess what I'm saying, we don't want to put the generator right in the middle of the lot.
Right.
Locate it where we can.
Yeah.
And put guardrails around them and make the rest of the parking lot.
Don't put the utility wire over the well.
Yeah.
Like they often do. Anyway,
I got it.
everybody done? Everybody finished?
Right.
Go ahead. Rip, 1 minute.
I think at this point,
Jason, 1
for
minute.
business lunch, the county.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Jason Johnson, Dr. Spire said something that kind of cued me to something else. Over the last couple of years, TDCs have not really forced, they've looked at budget cuts, significant, cuts and things like that. And Dr. Spire said something about the people not knowing how to get funds from TDC. I also think people don't understand how TDC is funded very well. And as a former TDC board member, I think that most people should learn that it's funded by heads and beds tax, and it does not come out of this community unless you get in trouble with your wife or your husband. You got to go spend the night in the hotel for a night or whatever. But anyway, quickly, may I address Miss Jackson as far as numbers? Did you say that general revenue funds, general impact, we had 160 million and we went up by 40 to 200 million this year?
from DOR?
So in our most recent economic impact report, it was $200 million in visitor spending, which was up from $180 million the year before. Yes, sir. And that's visitor spending, which generated $40 million in local, state, federal taxes.
Okay, so I did my math wrong. I misunderstood. I was actually watching from remote. Either way, that is about a 12.5% return on investment or an increase in spending. Any of y'all getting that out of the stock market? Anybody getting 12.5% out of the stock market right now?
If you leave it alone, you won't never be interested.
Okay, so my point to that is, with other TDCs, adjacent to ours, having been in the news recently, I think that we need to do some sort of, rainy day, funding for our TDC, because you don't get, ROI like that very often. And so just, it really is I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Jackson for the work that she's done. She's done a fantastic job. We need to continue to invest in that and to continue to see those returns, and state funding may get pulled away. We don't know what's going on with property taxes yet, things like that. And so, you're gonna have to make cuts somewhere. I hope it's not to the people who's yielding a nearly 13%, increase in revenue per year. With that, I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Mr. Donapro moves we rise.
I do. Let's be a second.